and I swear, I think the guy can see behind walls. He's easy to work with, and I can't think of a customer who hasn't liked working with him, and he really is the kind of guy you're going to want on your job. CJ's in charge of our entire window and door division, and you can be assured he's going to have his hands on your project. Most companies focus on the product. At Semper Fi, we focus on our people and you, and that's never let us down. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, call Semper Fi, because you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
Keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
6 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Friday, October 27th. Our top story, lockdowns continue as the manhunt in Maine reaches a second full day.
I'm Eric Bilstead. The search for an armed suspect in Franklin. I'm Brandon Snide. New location, same dame time.
I'm Debbie Lazica. Everything's looking great out on the roads right now. Super quiet. No major delays. The roads are wet, so you want to be extra careful, especially with all the leaves down. But so far, so good. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Slight chance of shower or storm, otherwise mostly cloudy, windy today with a high of 68 and dropping temperatures through the day, decreasing clouds and windy tonight. Low gets down to 37. Right now we're at 67 degrees, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, fear and sadness in Lewiston, Maine. Wednesday's deadly mass shooting leaving its mark. ABC's Derek Dennis is there talking with folks.
A shelter-in-place order extended for Lewiston into the night as the hunt for mass murder suspect Robert Card goes on. It means businesses all around are shut down, even the essentials hard to come by.
Cat food.
Wow. And you couldn't find it anywhere?
No.
Leah Scruggs, a young mom and animal lover, not kidding. Restaurants, malls, fitness gyms, convenience stores, even fast food closed. One of the only businesses I found open, a small gas station with cars lined up. 25-year-old Aiden, nervous to stop, but he had to.
This is very, very sad. I can't even go get gas.
Life on lockdown. Derek Dennis, ABC News in Lewiston, Maine.
Here at home, happening now in Franklin. Police are searching for a man believed to be armed. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live in the Breaking News Center with more details.
That's right, Eric. Authorities right now canvassing the area between 31st and Ryan Road and 35th and Lynx Road right now. If you're familiar, that's a residential area just east of the Oakwood Park Golf Course. There's a bit of mixed messaging at the moment from multiple agencies. Oak Creek Police are on scene assisting with the Franklin Police. They say the area around 35th and Lynx is being actively searched and that they're just assisting Franklin Police with operations. Meanwhile, Franklin Police say the community is not at risk and the situation is under control. Well, working to learn still about if any potential individual has been taken into custody. Live in the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts.
More questions this morning about why a 5-year-old boy was found dead in a dumpster in Milwaukee on Thursday. TMJ4 News reporting that an Amber Alert was requested when Prince McCree went missing, but the alert was not granted. In order to qualify for that statewide alert, a missing person must be under 17 years of age, be in danger of serious bodily harm or death, and there must be enough descriptive information about the child and suspect. Amber Alert Program Coordinator for the Department of Justice, Melissa Marchant, telling TMJ4 News.
We really need to stick to those three criteria in order to make the program, successful and not to desensitize the public.
The state of Wisconsin has received nearly 95,000 missing children reports, but issued just 59 Amber Alerts over the last 20 years. In Milwaukee, Prince McCree was the 20th child killed in the city this year.
Thank you, Vince. In Wauwatosa now, parents receiving word that Jefferson and Washington elementary schools could potentially shut down.
Emily Bila is a Wauwatosa parent and president of the Jefferson Elementary PTA. She tells WTMJ that both parents and teachers are shocked to hear the news.
We're not happy at the way the communication came out. We thought it was pretty vague. We didn't think the teachers are very supported in this decision and were very informed along the way.
Bila adds that closing schools would affect the walkability that Tosa schools are known for.
That opportunity to be outside, connect with people every single day by walking your kids to school is what makes this a destination for people to want to move to.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, in Waukesha North High School is not closing, despite rumors to that effect that have been circulating. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says in a note from the school district, they do not know how those rumors started, but North is not closing, says the school district.
Big Bend Chief of Police has passed away. Chief Don Gaglione had been the chief there since 2014. Before that, spent more than 30 years with the Milwaukee Police Department. Cause of death has not been released.
The U.S. military is responding now to recent drone and missile attacks that have been aimed at Americans in the Middle East.
Early this morning, the U.S. military hit 2 sites in Syria linked to Iran. The Pentagon says the order for that came directly from the president in retaliation for recent attacks on U.S. personnel stationed in Syria and Iraq. Earlier at the Pentagon, spokesman Brigadier General Pat Ryder.
We are aware of an attack against U.S. forces at Erbil in Iraq. It was unsuccessful. No casualties, some minor damage to infrastructure.
The Pentagon insists there was no coordination in this operation with Israel. Tom Foti, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up, Florida man wins, Florida man games. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:05.
So I came to Advent because I was experiencing recurrent sinus infections. As a new mom, it was really kind of difficult.
Many of our patients complain of sinus infections. The headaches, fatigue, and nasal stuffiness have a profound effect on their lives.
I just felt like your sickness starts affecting your energy level and, the things that you really enjoy doing. That really was a breaking point for me.
So Molly came to Advent. Abnormally tight sinuses and swollen turbinates led to simple breathing triangle solutions that ended up taking about 20 minutes in office. And very soon thereafter, she was breathing freely.
I'm just in awe at the amount of air that that I'm able to breathe in and out each night. And I haven't had a sinus infection since the procedure.
I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. When you breathe well, you do live better.
Results may vary.
Do you check your savings account and wonder if you're even saving at all? At Town Bank, we view banking differently and actually want to see your savings grow. With our amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates or visit a Town Bank branch nearest you today. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for one of the very special places in our community. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. They offer early memory loss classes. They take care of people in your family who have dementia symptoms or other related cognitive declines. I'll tell you what, I've been in their facilities. They're special. They're incredible. I have an aunt who's in a facility. I know what it means to make sure your family's in the right place. That's Azura. It's compassion and empathy. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, AzuraLiving.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:07.
Dame's debut and a Bucks win. Brandon Snide has sports at 6:15.
Tomorrow is Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. More than 140 drop-off locations will be available throughout Wisconsin for safe disposal of unwanted and unused medication. Now, the DOJ has coordinated the initiative tomorrow, and the department stresses that unused or expired medicine should never be flushed or poured down the drain because water reclamation facilities are not designed to remove all of those pharmaceutical substances.
This week, National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week, an issue for many Milwaukee homeowners.
If you're worried that your home might be served by lead service lines, Milwaukee Waterworks Superintendent Patrick Pauly tells WTMJ there's an easy way to get the answer, a complete list of addresses on the city website.
They can find out if the service line providing water to their building is in fact made of lead.
If you do have lead pipes bringing water to your home, there's no way to get in line for them to be replaced, with certain pipes prioritized by the city to replace first. But Pauly says there are things you can do to minimize your risk of exposure.
The use of a water filter or the flushing of the pipes after periods of stagnation.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Pauly recommends running water for at least 3 minutes after that stagnation.
A new competition is aiming to crown a King Florida Man.
Well, it ain't the Olympics, but a group of Floridians plans to host the first ever Florida Man Games, and it could be just as crazy as it sounds. The games will poke fun at Florida's reputation for producing strange headlines involving guns, drugs, booze, and, of course, gators. Think beer belly wrestling or an obstacle course while running from actual cops. There's even a mullet contest contest. Organizers plan to do it next February in St. Augustine. You could also just watch the Swamp Circus. Tickets will be about $45. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
I would watch that.
You would?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's all right.
6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
The celebration continues this week at Sendix. USDA inspected trimmed beef tenderloin is just $8.99 per pound. That's the lowest price all year. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Taking it with Debbie here at 6:10.
All right, looking pretty good right now. Wet roads, but overall, no major delays and no incidents up on the board, so all is well. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm along a strong cold front that makes its way through southern Wisconsin. We're starting off with numbers in the mid and upper 60s. By this afternoon, it's the 50s, then the 40s. Decreasing clouds tonight. Windy as lows dip back into the mid and upper 30s. It's partly cloudy, breezy, and much cooler for our Saturday. Highs in the upper 40s. We'll look for a chance of overnight rain into Sunday. Cloudy, windy, and chilly with a high of 47. Mostly sunny, breezy, and cool on Monday. Highs in the low 40s. And then by Halloween, partly sunny, windy, and cool with a slight chance for a few snow flurries. Highs near 40 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Already near today's high at 67 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
It's about 11 minutes after 6. Good to have you with us here on this Friday morning. The continued search for that U.S. Army reservist accused of killing 18 people in Maine, still presumably on the run this morning, looking more like a coordinated attack now as we get more information as opposed to a momentary meltdown of a guy who just snapped.
A shelter in place remains now for Lewiston and the surrounding area. ABC's Ike Ejachi has more on Robert Card, the shooter.
2 counties remained under shelter-in-place advisories this morning. Schools and businesses are closed as far as 50 miles from the shooting scenes. The Coast Guard also joined the manhunt, searching the waterways leading to the Atlantic after Card's Subaru was found near a river boat launch. Card does have a boat registered in his name. Canadian border officials issued an alert to officers along the border, warning them to be on the lookout.
Yeah, so it's possible he's on a boat. It's possible this was all planned, and then that was his getaway to somehow go anywhere, whether it's Canada, head north, or head south. He remains, according to police, armed and dangerous. And we're learning a little bit more about what may have led to this shooting earlier in the week.
Intelligence sources are telling CBS News that they believe that recent breakup may have been a significant destabilizing event in the gunman's life. That said, there is still no clear motive right now for this shooting.
Yeah, so there was a breakup recently, and that could have played a role as to why he went after the bowling alley or the restaurant venues.
Do we know?
Have not heard that yet.
The break,
anything about
she among the victims,
right? Police did find what appeared to be a suicide note, or it had the markings of a suicide mark in his home. It was addressed to his son. It contained like some bank information and some rantings, is what police say, quote, rantings. As we know, Card did spend some time in a mental health facility after reportedly hearing voices, and he allegedly had threatened to attack a National Guard facility. So that's what we know about the guy who is still considered armed and dangerous, and no word as of this morning where he might be.
Don't know if it doesn't matter, I suppose, to the victims and the people directly impacted by this, but it's easier, I think, probably to process and accept if you have a person who snapped in a moment, right? As opposed to what it's starting to look like is this was planned.
Right. They have a getaway boat to go through this whole process.
I planned to do this. Yeah. I planned to murder lots of people. I planned the getaway and the other things, that there was foresight in it. Makes it, again, doesn't substantively change anything for anyone, but makes it even tougher to swallow. Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Sports up next with Brandon.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution, and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. Why do so many people live years with back tax problems? You didn't file one year because you were sick or thought you couldn't pay. Then next year you didn't file again. Soon you think you can't file. You do things that don't make sense or may be illegal. Don't bury your head in the sand and hope the problem will go away. It will only get worse unless you make the right choice and step up to get them off your back. Do you want your paycheck garnished, a lien on your house, your passport revoked, or your bank account wiped out? We help reduce or eliminate penalties, negotiate payment plans, and file back tax returns. My latest book has advice on what to do to avoid trouble with the IRS. Make the right choice. Go to rightchoicetax.us to book a call or in-person meeting right now. We know you want to take the first step in getting the IRS off your back so you can live again. That's rightchoicetax.us.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Bucks tipped off the start of their season at Pfizer Forum on Thursday night. Damian Lillard making his Bucks debut, and he certainly did not disappoint.
Lillard, step back three, on the way, got it! Damian Lillard, welcome to the Cream City. Dame time has arrived with 1:07 to go.
Dave Kane on the call as Dame Time knocks down a late three as the Bucks go on for the 118-117 win over the Philadelphia 76ers. Lillard with a historic performance, dropping 39 points. He set a franchise record for most points in a debut performance.
I came in knowing what was expected of me, when these type of situations came. And I've been in enough of those situations where I know it's probably not going to always be me making a shot or taking a shot. But, they're encouraging me to be the person to take control and make decisions and, decide what's going to happen in those moments. And that's what I'm here to do.
Giannis also having himself a solid night, adding 23 points and 13 rebounds. And with the win, it was the first victory in the head coaching career of Adrian Griffin.
I still a lot to learn as a head coach. Thought we did some really good stuff. I'm probably my toughest critic. I'm fortunate to be in this seat. To start the season, that's tough as it gets. It's not about me, but I'm really fortunate to be the head coach. But we got a lot of work to do.
The Bucks will be back in action Sunday night in Milwaukee as they play host to the Atlanta Hawks. The Green Bay Packers will welcome in the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday afternoon. Head coach Matt LaFleur on working to get his offense back on track with Jordan Love.
I think it's important for all quarterbacks, and I think we're still developing that rapport with him and our receiving core. And the one thing I'll tell you is we got a lot of confidence in all those guys that when called upon, they're going to make the play. And we just got to. I think the more they play, the better that everybody's going to get, and they're going to gel together the further we get on into the season.
The Packers got some encouraging news at practice on Thursday for their offense. Running back Aaron Jones, after missing Wednesday's practice earlier in the week, he returned to action. Kickoff is all set for noon on Sunday with coverage beginning right here on WTMJ starting at 9 a.m. And lastly, the World Series will begin tonight in Arlington, Texas. The Rangers hosting the first two games before the series will travel out to Arizona starting next week. That first pitch is all set for 7 p.m. tonight.
Don't care. Can't get into it.
Not even this one, though. This is like
right.
You got to root for the Diamondbacks, right?
I am, but
I don't know if I am, though. I haven't decided yet. I let the game start, and then I dictate where I'm going.
I don't know if I could just invest time
What
into
does
this.
that mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Each game you ride the wave of the momentum, perhaps?
Like, if something irritates me. So, for example... they were mad at Adolis Garcia, the Rangers, because he watched a home run.
Too long?
So the Astros were mad. So they threw a pitch at him. So now now I'm rooting for Texas.
Okay.
That's what you get, Houston.
Just look for those little backbiting incidents that make you mad. 6:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
What time is it?
Do you have the time?
What time is it?
What time is it? Time. It's Lillard. He got the shot off.
Damian Lillard is officially a Milwaukee Buck, and we can get used to this.
Lillard, long range three, and it's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
Listen to it all right here. We are the home of the Milwaukee Bucks, WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving, asphalt or concrete, residential and commercial. Johnson & Sons Paving, they do everything from your driveway, your front walk, to your commercial business parking lot. Let's talk about that a little bit. Repairs or rebuild, it's a big project and it's important. You know, that parking lot, that's the front door to your small business or your medium-sized business or your big old business, whatever it is. It starts with a free quote, consultation. You get to personally meet your project manager. That's your point person through the whole thing. The design team goes to work. They'll work with you, lay out the whole project, and then it's Johnson's team the whole rest of the way. No subcontractors there, a lot of Johnsons. And when you hire Johnson & Sons, you get them. They mix their own asphalt. They lay the concrete. They do the work. And then most importantly, they're there for the follow-up. So your satisfaction is guaranteed. A one-stop shop for projects of any size, johnsonandsonspaving.com.
Since 1946, Ansay & Associates has provided insurance to help secure families throughout Wisconsin. As a family-owned, independent agency, customer satisfaction is our first priority. Our experienced and local agents are here to assess your individual needs and ensure your family is protected. As one of Wisconsin's top 10 insurance agencies, Ansay & Associates is here to provide all of your insurance needs, from home and auto to life insurance and specialty coverage. Our local agents will ensure your family is prepared for the unexpected. Ansay & Associates is more than insurance. We're your partner in risk management. Visit ansay.com today and get a free consultation with one of our experienced local agents. Or come see us in person at any of our local offices. Ansay & Associates, securing and protecting your American dream. Learn more at ansay.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Let's have a better drive today, Debbie.
All righty.
They just opened up northbound about 5 minutes ago, right? Through the Marquette. Boy, was that a long day.
Oh, yeah. About 3:10 was when they officially reopened the Marquette yesterday, so that was crazy. But everything is okay right now, knock on wood. We do have nice clear ride, wet, but it's clear at this point. No major problems out there. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Big changes ahead here in your Storm Team forecast. We've got a slight chance of showers or a storm today, otherwise mostly cloudy, very windy, and a high of 68 degrees. But we're almost at the high temperatures. Temperatures will start falling through the day, decreasing clouds and a low down to 37 tonight. Weekend, not real pretty. Overnight rain Saturday. Earlier in the day, much cooler, partly cloudy and a high of just 48 degrees. Sunday's high 47, cloudy and windy with a chance of showers. Looking ahead to the work week, stuck in the 40s, mostly sunny, breezy, and cool on Monday, high of 41. Tuesday's high under partly sunny skies, 40 degrees, and a slight chance of snow flurries. Right now it's 67 in Milwaukee. Halloween coming up on Tuesday, right? 31st,
That's right.
But it's Halloween weekend, so there'll be a lot of revelry, if you will.
Oh, yeah. In Madison and in Milwaukee and across the state and the suburbs, of course.
You got booed this week.
Boo this man!
Not like that.
Not quite like that. Yeah, we got booed a couple of times. So we're right.
You're not supposed to get booed multiple times. Don't you put the little sign up?
Boo!
No, I guess if it really got that bad, we would. But so booing is when someone shows up at your house and rings the doorbell, ding-dong ditches you basically, and then runs off, and then they leave you a little treat. So sometimes a little basket or a little baggie of goodies for Halloween. So that's what booing is. Did you guys ever get booed?
Yeah, it used to drive me nuts, actually. Which surprises you probably not at all.
That is the vittiest thing you've ever said.
Right, the kid, someone rings the doorbell, we go. The first time it ever happened to me, I didn't know of this tradition. So we go there, there's this bucket of candy and some other stuff, and it's like, okay, because then the next step is you need to carry on the booing. So tag, you're it. Now you need to find somebody else who has kids or whatever.
Sure.
put together some basket of stuff. I'm like, we got trick or treat. You're coming like in 3 days. One more thing I got to do.
So I don't know. I feel like in our neighborhood, it's evolved more of like you just hit your friends, right? You hit up your friends, and so my youngest is 12. So we're on the end of this. But what's made it different now is that everyone's got like a Ring camera. So you can see.
So you know who it is, right?
Yeah, so Bryn snapped a picture of her friend who showed up the other day and did it. And she's like, I know exactly who that is, even though she's trying to cover her face.
I saw the picture. She has her face covered with her hand. It's like, yeah, I know that hat. I know your jacket.
She's like, I know who that is. So she texted her. And then when she tried to catch a kid once, she just wanted, the dog was going to go just chase after him. You know, dog's not going to hurt anybody, but just, so she opens the door real quick after the doorbell rings, and the dog, instead of chasing after kid, just picked up the treat that was sitting on the stoop and ran. Yeah, I hear my 12-year-old yelling, no, drop it. And she's running outside.
Ran off
the house.
with the prize.
So anyway, my kid's strategy is to put on like a ski mask, I guess, this weekend if we do it. So she's going to have sunglasses and a ski mask on, so you can't tell for sure if it's her.
It's hard to find those blind spots on those things. There are blind spots.
It's very difficult, you're right.
Why do you know that, Deb?
Nothing.
Okay. Hey, when are we doing the Halloween thing that you've wrote me doing again?
Can't wait. Well, as is tradition.
Yes, we've done it 1 year in a row.
If you recall, we had our award-winning Smoke holiday radio show, horror show.
Award-winning? Really?
Yes, Debbie, it was award-winning, of course.
That did not win any awards.
Of course it did, Debbie. Why would you even ask? So, yes, it was award-winning. Anyway, the Smoke, which is what our radio show last year we did on Halloween, and that included all of the players.
And the theme is like old-timey radio show, right? Like back, in the 30s and the 40s or whatever, they would have these radio shows, and they would tell little stories, and you'd gather around the radio.
Loved it.
Sound effects and all that jazz.
Yeah. And everyone loved it.
Yes.
We didn't have one criticism of the Smoke when we ran that last year. So anyway, this year we're doing another one. And I don't know, should I explain? So this one was written by me when I was 12.
So don't have too many high expectations.
No, it's been now adapted, Deb, for the radio.
Okay.
It's Eric's original literary work, which has been adapted to this Halloween-themed horror show.
Would you like to hear a clip?
No.
All right, here we go.
What? I thought I'd just get cold for Christmas.
Well, sure, if you do one thing wrong. But you've been naughty all year long.
The clock was ticking down. 3, 2, 1. The large blade fell. And Billy awoke.
Gather the children around the radio for WTMJ Halloween Classic.
This one is called Santa Claus. And I think you can kind of pick up what might happen.
You spell claws with C-L-A-W-S?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Santa Claus.
I didn't even think about that. Anyway, so this is going to run on Tuesday.
On the radio?
Well, we'll see. We'll have to figure that part out.
I'm a reluctant participant in this.
What? Why?
Because you asked me to do it, so I did it.
I thought you were fantastic.
Well, I gave you everything I got.
Oh, my gosh, your screams?
No!
I mean, that's fantastic.
That's really good radio.
Can't wait.
6:27 on Wisconsin's Morning News. News about your money this morning. If you want to scream, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 251 more points. Indeed, to 32,784. The NASDAQ got pummeled, down 1 3/4% to 12,596, and the S&P 500 off nearly 50 points to 4137. Going to need the folks over at Annex Wealth Management to help you through this one. It's time for the Annex Wealth Management Tax Smart Planning Review. They'll review, assess, and provide strategies you can use. Go to annexwealth.com/taxsmart.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi for Heiser Automotive. You know I love talking about Heiser. I am now driving a 2021 Lincoln Corsair all-wheel drive. Of course, perfect for all of Wisconsin's changing weathers. We all know about that weather. It is amazing, comfortable. I always say Lincolns have the best ride. 6-year, 100,000-mile comprehensive warranty coverage. All of the great features of Lincoln, all available at one of their 5 great locations. Check it out. You can also go to Heiser.com, see all of their great pre-owned and new vehicles. Stop, online, always there for you, much more. Heiser.com. They have all the inventory you might need for any vehicle need you have. You could be in a vehicle as soon as tonight. Need your current vehicle serviced? Heiser has, as I said, 5 convenient locations. Get your vehicle ready for the upcoming summer season. Call for an appointment. Schedule online. They can fix body damage too, one of the great service centers. Make sure you visit Heiser.com for all your vehicle needs. That's why they say every day at Heiser, today's your day.
Hi, John McGivern here. Did you know Network Health has Medicare Advantage plans that give you $25 a month back towards your Medicare Part B premium? That's $300 a year back in your pocket. Isn't that great? Call 833-7-NETWORK to learn more today. Network Health Medicare Advantage plans include PPO plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Network Health Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal. Certain restrictions apply to the Part B giveback. Visit networkhealth.com/Medicare/extra benefits for details.
Home is where the heart is. Family meals, laughter, and warm memories. As your local contractor that's been around for 40 years, J&J Contractors has been helping families create new memories for generations to come by reimagining your kitchen space for baking holiday cookies with the family or opening up your lower level for friend and neighbor entertainment. Whatever the project is, J&J Contractors does it with top-of-the-line craftsmanship. Just Google J&J Contractors to see their reviews for impeccable work and outstanding communication.
Staples stores provide innovative products and services for small business, remote workers and learners, even teachers and parents. Explore more at your local Staples store.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
Wisconsin's Morning News National Anthem is powered by Wenniger Compressor. American patriotism made in Wisconsin. The 4-H Showcase Singers.
It's 6:31. I'm Adam Roberts, and this is Wisconsin's Morning News for Friday, October 27th. Your top story, an update to a manhunt in Franklin.
I'm Debbie Loziga. For the most part, looking pretty good across the entire area. Volume is starting to pick up a little bit, but nothing major to slow you down and no major incidents either. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Slight chance for rain today in your storm team forecast from meteorologist Brendan Johnson. A deceptive high today of 68. We're almost at it right now at 67 degrees. Winds are going to pick up and the temperatures are going to drop quickly. A low tonight down to around 37 degrees. Only 48 for your high on Saturday. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, happening now in Franklin, police have left the scene at 31st and Ryan Road, where they were earlier searching for an armed suspect. It's still unknown if anyone has been taken into custody related to the search. Authorities were canvassing the area between 31st and Ryan Road and 35th and Lynx. There remains some mixed messaging as Oak Creek police said they were on scene to simply assist Franklin police with their operations, while Franklin police have said the community was not at risk and the situation was under control. The area in question is a highly residential zone just east of the Oakwood Park golf course. Wauwatosa School District considering closing Jefferson and or Washington Elementary School. Parents received a letter Tuesday that says budget concerns and rising building costs are putting pressure on the district's finances.
President of the Jefferson Elementary PTA, Emily Bila, tells WTMJ this would be a foundational change to the Wauwatosa community.
Every elementary school in this district is walkable. Several schools have 100% of their students live within
1 mile of their school.
Bila says the PTA wants to make sure that current students feel supported.
To make sure that this is not disruptive to their learning environment, that this is not going to be a distraction to the school year, that they still deserve to have a full, enriching school year.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, Waukesha North High School squashing rumors circulating that they were planning to close their doors. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says a letter sent out from North reaffirmed there are no plans to close that school. Nearly a dozen prisoners at Waupun Correctional Institution are filing a class action lawsuit for not receiving proper health care at the prison, now in its 7th month on lockdown. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, the inmates allege they're being subjected to, quote, cruel and unusual conditions of confinement and are at risk of pain and suffering, including deaths. Their complaints range from an 18-month-long waiting list for dental care to denial of medication and medical-ordered meals. Self-harm and suicide has also increased at the prison, including one person who died by suicide while in solitary confinement back in June. And this week is National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week, an issue for many Milwaukee homeowners.
If you're worried that your home might be served by lead service lines, Milwaukee Waterworks Superintendent Patrick Pauley tells WTMJ there's an easy way to get the answer, a complete list of addresses on the city website.
They can find out if the service line providing water to their building is in fact made of lead.
If you do have lead pipes bringing water to your home, there's no way to get in line for them to be replaced, with certain pipes prioritized by the city to replace first. But Pauley says there are things you can do to minimize your risk of exposure.
The use of a water filter or the flushing of the pipes after periods of stagnation.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts, citing unlimited WTMJ News Time 6:35.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Coming up, Gen Z prefers no-mance.
News is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. Retire well with Kowal.
Is economic uncertainty making you feel uneasy about your financial plan? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal, president of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. If you're feeling the pressure of uncertainty, you're not alone. Between inflation, market volatility, interest rates, and the upcoming election year, there's a lot happening that could derail your plan. So let's talk about it. We are inviting you to join us on Thursday, October 26th at the Milwaukee Marriott West for a panel discussion with Chief Market Strategist Bob Carey and the Kowal Investment Group advisors as we examine how you can plan for the unexpected during uncertain times and the 3 steps you can take to safeguard your financial plan. This is a free event, but be sure to register early as seats are limited. For additional details and to reserve your seat, visit thekowalway.com today. That's Kowal, thekowalway.com. We hope to see you there.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
Hey, the future of joint pain relief is right here in Milwaukee. It's QC Kinetics, Advanced Regenerative Medicine, and it's amazing. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. If you've been told more steroids or surgery are your only options, don't be so fast. Get a second opinion and learn more about how you can harness your own body's healing agents to attack that joint pain. I'm talking lasting relief. QC Kinetics doesn't mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem, using concentrated healing properties placed directly in your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. Imagine living your life this fall with no more pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, or your back, with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Hey, life is all about motion, and QC Kinetics is giving people their lives back with these all-natural treatments. Call the local medical professionals and get a free consultation today. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Again, 414-285-3474.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
The Bucks are undefeated. Man, pretty nice start, though, right here in Milwaukee. Record crowd saw it. Brandon Snide breaks it down for you at 6:45.
Gen Z is into no-mance.
What is that? I don't know what that means. Where's my Matt LaFleur? I don't know what that means.
I should have it right here. A recent study on entertainment consumption habits of Generation Z. So what's Gen Z? That's like 12 to 25-year-olds.
Right. Our kids are Gen Z, right?
That their preference for on-screen is platonic relationships over sex and romance. Again, on screen. UCLA did a teens and screen survey. They found that 50% of young participants want to see more content on friendships when they're watching a movie or a TV show. They have a video of teens and screen.
I would prefer to see, instead of romance, more platonic relationships and more familiar relations.
I'd love to see some great love stories on friendships and the trials and tribulations of that.
So isn't that interesting? So 40% desire non-romantic characters on screen. They feel that romance in media is overused, which it is. They have a formula that every sitcom likes to use when they roll them out.
So on Friends, they didn't want Chandler to get with Monica. They didn't want Ross to get with Rachel. They just wanted to be the friends.
But if you notice, like every sitcom tries to replicate that, like, ooh, maybe are they or aren't they? There's clearly something there maybe. You know, and that idea, I guess, according to this study, Gen Z's like, nah, just be friends. Don't care.
Right? We don't need all that.
Yeah.
Well, also, but their dating patterns are so different than Gen Xers, or certainly than boomers or whomever. Like they do everything together in friend groups, right? They go to homecoming in groups instead of with dates.
Oftentimes no desire.
They don't. Right. Interesting.
No man's.
Well, important for them to know, because that's the group that is going to be targeted by everything on screen here coming forward. 6:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Playing golf with my guy Stu this weekend.
There you go. I know Stu.
Right. Stu's body's a train wreck. He's got all kinds of stuff wrong.
I'm sure he appreciates how's his golf game?
Much better, right? He's hanging in there, and actually has hung in there for years, battling through a number of things. He's got knees, he's got a shoulder, everything going on, and he regularly goes to Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. They keep him functioning, right? So he's done the cortisone, he's done the gel shots in the knees, anything to keep him walking around out there. His shoulder's all messed up. Going in for surgery at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin next week. So I'm taking Stu out Sunday. The weather looks crummy, but we're going to golf. He's going to get one more in before the off season. He's got an aggressive comeback plan.
Really? So he'll be back in the spring?
Absolutely.
All right.
I can't remember what he said. Did he want to be swinging a golf club by like end of January? Like right back in it? So aggressive, but they're going to go in there and fix that shoulder. His game's going to be even better. Not that he doesn't already work me over every time we play. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Something bothering you, now's the time to get in. Maybe you want to get in with your insurance, before the end of the calendar year, before that all resets. Give them a call, Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, or visit them online at orthowisconsin.com.
Leave low yields in the dust and never look back. Rev up your return on investment with Syngenta. Our innovative portfolio of crop protection products outperforms and out-yields any deal, giving you higher yield and profit potential at the finish line. Syngenta, where better yield is the better deal. Always read and follow label instructions.
All right, let's see here. Acuron Corn Herbicide. Powerful weed control? Check. Long-lasting residual? Check. Proven crop safety? Check. Acuron checks all the boxes, which is why it outperforms and out-yields all other corn herbicides by 5 to 15 bushels an acre. Talk to your local Syngenta retailer or visit findmorebushels.com to discover your revenue potential today. Always read and follow label instructions. Acuron is a restricted use pesticide.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Debbie, we got your thing coming up on the driver's ed.
Yay!
So that's going to be next. You're going to teach us about windshields?
Yes, the unsung hero.
The unsung hero on the roads.
Yep.
Awesome. We'll do that next. What's the roads like? What are the roads like right now?
Actually, not too bad. We're not seeing too many delays out there. Volume definitely has picked up. The roads are wet, so you do want to be extra careful, especially as you're making turns and stuff like that, since those leaves are starting to come down. Makes things really slippery, so be careful out there. But right now, you can help out your fellow commuters, too. You can report accidents and slowdowns to the Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda to support their Drive Out Cancer event. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm along a strong cold front that makes its way through southern Wisconsin. We're starting off with numbers in the mid and upper 60s. By this afternoon, it's the 50s, then the 40s. Decreasing clouds tonight, windy conditions with lows dipping back into the upper 30s. Partly cloudy, breezy, and much cooler for Saturday with a high of 48. We'll look for some overnight rain that carries over into Sunday. Otherwise, cloudy, windy, and chilly. Highs in the upper 40s. Mostly sunny, breezy, and cool on Monday, high of 41. And then partly sunny, windy, and cool for Halloween with a slight chance for a few snow flurries. Highs near 40 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
67 degrees in Milwaukee. Coming up on 644, getting close to winter here. We need to start thinking about how we're going to deal with those adverse weather driving conditions and our cars. One key component of the vehicle, don't think about too often, the unsung hero, as Debbie calls it, the windshield. That is the subject of Driver's Ed with Debbie.
It should be a no-brainer if, for whatever reason, you can't see out of your windshield. That's when you notice it. But it can be annoying to take extra time out to make sure you can see. Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt says there's a reason why we can't just crank up the defrost and away we go.
Because you can't see. And that seems to be one of the most basic things that when you're driving a motor vehicle, you need to be able to see when you're driving down the road. If you can't get it with your defroster, we've always got these neat things called an ice scraper or a brush to sweep off that snow. And it's so important to be able to see what you're doing when you're going down the road.
Being aware of what's going on around you is all the more important behind the wheel when the road conditions are bad. Here's an example.
I recall back in my early patrol days of trying to stop somebody because they had probably about a foot of snow all over their car and about a 12-inch window out the front where they could see. And I was behind him with lights and siren for 1.5 miles before he finally pulled over. He had no idea what was going on around him, had no idea an emergency vehicle was behind him. And that will end up at a citation every time.
It's not just snow and ice covered by the ordinance either.
Things that are in the way of the driver. I mean, you might have that forest of trees that are hanging from your rear view mirror that might block your vision. People like to put stickers on their cars sometimes, whether that be in the front window, which you really can't do. You can't put stickers on your rear windows. If you do have anything back there, it has to be translucent. You have to be able to see through it. And the more things that you have covering your windows, the more blind spots you have.
I know it can be a pain to take a few minutes to make sure all your windows are clear, but if you don't, it could cost you.
It is a primary offense that anybody can be stopped for at any time if you are have obstructed view, and that is a violation of $175.30 and 2 demerit points for the first violation. A second violation, however, is $213.10 and another 2 points.
Not cheap, but neither is the possibility of getting into an accident because you couldn't see and hurting yourself or others. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
Guilty.
Yep.
Right? How many times? No, I can see okay.
We're good.
No, you can't. Scrape it off.
So what's the weirdest way that you've seen people clear their windshields off? Because I've heard blowtorches. I've heard a bag of boiling hot water that just they rub it across the windshield to clear it from that frost.
Geez, I mean, like if it's that big of a problem, get one of those robo things.
Yeah, or cover the windshield before anything happens. Also, somebody said that you can rub a raw onion on your windshield and it won't frost over. I don't know if that's true or not.
You try that and report back to us. 647 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
You've probably heard some things about Social Security. Some of them true, some of them not. But here's the main thing. Social Security is here for you today, and it will be here for you tomorrow. Find out what Social Security means for you and your family. Attend a special town hall at the Tripoli Shrine Center on Wednesday, November 1st, sponsored by AARP Wisconsin. For more information, visit MilwaukeeTownHall.org. That's MilwaukeeTownHall.org. This ad paid for by the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We looked at a few businesses that purchase homes, and Grandview seemed to be the one that had it together.
Not only did we receive a fair offer, but we were able to take as much time as we needed and could leave the house a mess.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
The Emmy Award-winning Beatles tribute, The Fab Four, returns to Milwaukee. See them play the hit album Rubber Soul in its entirety alongside all your favorite hits. Saturday, October 28th at the Pabst Theater. The Fab Four. Tickets on sale now at PabstTheaterGroup.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Bucks got 39 from Damian Lillard in his debut, a franchise record as the Deer go on for the 118-117 win over the 76ers. Giannis adding 23, also becoming the franchise leader in field goals made, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Bucks will be back in action on Sunday as they host Atlanta. Week 8 of the NFL season kicked off last night as the Buffalo Bills take down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a final of 24-18. The Wisconsin Badgers are set for a primetime showdown with Ohio State on Saturday night. Kickoff between the Badgers and Buckeyes is all set for 6:30.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's morning news. Here's Brendan Snide.
It only took one game, and the trade that once sent shockwaves throughout the NBA has already paid off for the Bucks. Damian Lillard in Milwaukee is undeniably the missing piece to their championship puzzle. On opening night, he made an unforgettable debut by dropping a franchise record-setting 39 points. When the Bucks' offense became stagnant, something we've grown accustomed to seeing over the past handful of years, Lillard single-handedly closed out Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. Look, it's no secret that this is what this team has been missing. And yes, maybe at times they will miss the defense that number 21 used to provide, but nonetheless, Lillard's incredible scoring ability and clutch shooting performance showcased last night is exactly what this Bucks team has been searching for. The term closer is often used in basketball, and sometimes it can be hyperbolic. But look, this is exactly what Lillard is. This is exactly what he's been. It's exactly what he's going to be. And it's exactly what this team has never truly had. And again, after just one performance, it's very obvious they most certainly do now. After just one game, the synergy between Lillard and the Bucks is undeniable. And after 4 quarters, it's clear that he's the missing ingredient for their championship aspirations.
Every day, it seems like there's always something new going on in the world of politics. Join WTMJ now for the Political Power Hour. Bill McCoshen.
The first lesson I learned when I worked for Governor Thompson is never give away power.
And Joe Zepecki.
I'm often accused of being the Eeyore on this panel, so let's try to find a silver lining.
Will help make sense of today's political headlines.
He's the guy that sits in the front of the class and always has an answer for something, and you're like, sit down and shut up.
I thought you were that guy.
No.
It's the Political Power Hour on WTMJ.
At Semper Fi, we wholeheartedly believe that our reputation is everything. And around the office and work sites, I like to say that our reputation is like the little campfire we all huddle around for life. And every time we produce a project, we all have to take a little piece of that fire, and it's our responsibility to keep it going. Every time we keep a promise, it fuels the fire. Every time we deliver on an expectation, it fuels the fire. We started out as a mom-and-pop roofing shop, and the reputation we've built and our commitment to it has made us into the company we are today. I've found that people really value a company that truly cares about their reputation, and I know that it attracts the kind of like-minded individuals that we're proud to have on our team. At Semper Fi, we work hard not to tarnish our reputation, and that's what will make your decision to work with us one you won't regret. We're Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, and you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Small business owners can make a little of anything go a long way.
It's true. My bakery is made up of a little sugar, spice, and edible glitter.
Well, that's why U.S. Cellular is offering small businesses lines for as little as $19.99, plus $300 off any phone.
That's great. A little does go a long way. Unless we're talking sprinkles, everyone always needs more sprinkles.
Oh, of course. Get lines for $19.99 plus $300 off any phone today. U.S. Cellular. Built for business. Built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent.
SmartSpacesWI.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie here on the roads.
It's super-duper quiet out there right now. You don't really have any kind of major incidents. A little bit of a slowdown along northbound 43, as you might expect from Keefe up to about Capitol Drive. But overall, everything is looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lozga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Big story of the day is a big cool down coming. We're already near today's high. We're at 67 right now. High temp is 68, and then cooling temperatures through the day. Decreasing clouds and a low down to 37 tonight. Saturday's high 48 degrees. Sunday's high 47 with a chance of showers. 67 right now in Milwaukee. Our teammate from 101 from ESPN Milwaukee. You can go with the truth if you want. They'll have you.
I'd like to think so.
Gabe Neitzel in the studio with us this morning. He's walking Eric right now through an Apple TV upgrade or update. How's this going?
So far, so good.
If you're watching on the live stream here, you would see Gabe consulting Eric. No,
it's helpful. Very helpful.
It's really, really good stuff today. I just gave the forecast. Sunday's going to be terrible for the community's trick-or-treating. That's tough on the kids.
Yours is on Sunday?
So, which conflicts with the Packer game sometimes. I think we're good. I think we're 4-7, and we got a noon kick.
Yeah, so you're going to be fine. You don't have to worry about that. And, I mean, with the rain, it's going to be interesting, but I always remember as a trick-or-treater, every once in a while, you'd get snow. On that day, and your costume's basically ruined because it's hiding underneath a winter coat because there's no way your mother is letting you outside. And no, you cannot go outside in a Darkwing Duck T-shirt and cape. Put on your jacket.
It's all puffed up, too.
My 12-year-old has this crazy idea. She wants to go as a bag of jelly beans. So she got all of these tiny little balloons, and she's been blowing them up, and they're metallic looking. She's like, I'm going to tape them on my body, and then I'll have this thing, and I'll be... And I'm like, hon, it's going to be like 40 degrees out on Tuesday.
Hey, you know what happens to balloons when it's cold?
So I'm trying to warn you, tell her now, like, hey, you might want to recreate or come up with something different because you're going to be wearing a winter coat on Tuesday night. But as of now, still going as a bag of jelly.
I love that creativity. Though.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cool, unique idea.
This went as French fries last year.
See, that's why your daughter is, of the 3 Billstead children, Bryn's on top of the depth chart for me. The most interesting of your kids. I love this kid.
Was it like a specific brand of French fries?
McDonald's.
Okay.
I mean, widely regarded as the finest fry.
Yeah,
and that's what everyone said.
Naturally, yes. Yeah, it makes sense.
You mentioned the Packer game, though. I know there are probably some communities that have a noon start, like they go noon to 3 or whatever for trick-or-treat on Sunday. That was always tough for me, because I always wanted to go with the kids when they were little. But if it was during a Packer game, you're rolling on the game, right? You're recording the game. I'll get back when I can sit down and just watch it, right? But there's always that guy, and you're like, you come up and your buddy's out there or one of the neighbors, and you're like, don't tell me anything about the game. I'm taping it. And then for sure they want to tell you something about the game.
Hey, did you see that throw by Aaron?
They just scored. No, I said, don't tell me anything
about
the game.
You should see this catch he made.
Or worse. The worst is when, I'm not going to say anything, but you're not going to like it.
Come on.
What? Come on, man.
You just gave away the ending.
Just
what are we
stole
doing
my
here?
3 hours. I want to not like it, but I want to not like it in real time.
I want to be miserable.
I want to work through it
on my own time.
I don't know if I'd want the trick-or-treating during the game. Like a 2 to 4 would not work for me.
Yeah, when I was growing up, it was always on Saturday. I grew up in Horicon, small town. Yeah, it was Saturday afternoon.
Oh, okay.
It was a Saturday afternoon, like mid to late afternoon, like probably like 2 to 5:30 or whatever. Right before it gets dark because
you get a little darkness for the older kids who want to stay out.
Yeah, just a little bit, but not like really, really dark where anybody, any smaller kid is getting scared of the bigger kids running around there. So it was Saturday, but never had to worry about missing the Packer game.
Are you adult dress up guy or not?
Never.
Adult, right?
Never.
I'm in your camp.
Never.
You dressed up last year.
Because you made me.
Yeah.
It's true.
You did make me.
Wait,
and
what
it was
did you guys dress
cut.
up as yesterday? Or last year, yesterday?
Well, he went as Craig Counsell and I went as Matt LaFleur.
Okay.
Which was easy enough. I didn't shave for a couple days. I tried to get the tight Matty beard going. And
the eyebrows.
Had a little hat on and a pullover. Easy costume.
Yeah, you walk around with one of these headsets on, you're fine. You're perfectly fine.
Eric, he made a good Counsell last year.
I put on a hoodie. That's basically what I wore.
Did it have the sleeves, though?
Oh, I should have cut the sleeves.
You needed the sleeves off. I mean, not like Bill Belichick style, because that's like sloppy. His is actually like, it looks tailored that way.
Yeah, you're right.
He wants, Eric's insisting that Pancake and I both go as Vladimir Zelensky.
They look like Zelensky, and he's got the outfit. He's got like the outfit.
Like Zelensky twins?
Yes.
We could both be.
I think that'd be super cool, but we weren't sure if that would be considered inappropriate.
Well, if you look, I mean...
If you're asking the question, chances are...
Okay, good. I'm off the hook.
Yeah. If you have to ask yourself... Hey, if I do this thing, am I going to be looked upon negatively in the office?
Then you will.
You probably don't need to approach that line.
I think that's the perfect outfit, actually, because you put on the olive green, you look pretty good anyway, right? And then you can almost act like you're not in a costume if you don't want to be in one.
Oh, if somebody is bent out of shape, you're like, no, this is just what I was wearing today.
This is my Friday shirt. What are you talking about?
Because I have an olive sweater hoodie that I wear sometimes, and they give me the, hey, what are you, Zelensky today? It's just my clothes. Happy Halloween, 6:59 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Business headlines are up next with the Milwaukee Business Journal's Margaret Notchek.
A children's entertainment center called Kids Empire will soon make its Wisconsin debut. It's opening in the coming weeks on Blue Mountain Road in Brookfield and plans another location at Bayshore in early 2024. Fiserv has sold its financial reconciliation business to a Texas-based firm for $232 million. The business was part of the Brookfield-based firm's smallest business segment. A Starbucks at Red Arrow Park in downtown Milwaukee will close at the end of November. Milwaukee County owns the space and is seeking proposals from other businesses who want to operate there. I'm Teddy Nykel with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
The average 30-year fixed rate is the highest it's been in 23 years. But low overhead AccuNet still has some special 30-year fixed rate money for first-time Wisconsin homebuyers at a rate of 6.625%. That's right, 6.625 on a 30-year fixed with an APR as low as 6.8 with as little as 3% down. Household income limits apply and vary by household size and the county in which your new home is located. Now, you might be thinking this is too good to be true, but it is true, and it gets even a little better. AccuNet can also provide a 10-year fixed second mortgage at an APR of 6.625 to cover the minimum 3% down payment and closing costs. First-time buyers in today's market have an advantage. You don't have a home to sell, and the housing market is a little less competitive all of a sudden, too. Hear that sound? That's opportunity knocking. Answer the door and click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com for your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
Blue sweater, red sweater, reindeer sweater, extra double thick sweater.
What are you doing?
Getting my closet ready for winter. It'll be here before you know it.
Good point. We should all be getting our vehicles ready for winter too. And now's the time to visit any of the 115 Adam member new car dealers to get your oil changed, have your brakes and wipers checked, and make sure your tires will get you through a long Wisconsin winter. Just visit ADAMM.com to find the nearest Adam member dealer.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
The place to get caught up, to speak out, to connect and be entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Friday, October 27th. Our top story, the wounded speaking out in Lewiston, Maine as the manhunt continues for Robert Card.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Back to that looming government shutdown.
I'm Brandon Snide. Dame Time shines in a record-setting performance.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Northbound on 43. We are seeing some backups now coming up from North Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Not horribly bad. A couple of extra minutes, but something it's significant enough to make the needle move. Otherwise, everything else is looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Slight chance of a shower or storm today, but the big story is the decreasing temperatures. We'll get to a high of 68, and then the bottom drops out down to a low of 37 degrees tonight. Right now at 67 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, police this morning still searching for Robert Card, the Army reservist wanted for the mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine that killed at least 18 people. Those who were shot and wounded starting to talk about their ordeal. ABC's Trevor Alt in Lewiston.
Jennifer Zanka says her back was to the shooter when he opened fire, shattering the bone in her arm.
I got hit, I think, when I went to the ground, and then I stood up and followed one of the other girls. She knew how to get out the back way.
The retired nurse says doctors tell her she will recover. Her daughter with her at the hospital.
I just didn't think she was even going to be alive or that I'd ever get to see her again.
Shelter-in-place orders still in place as far as 50 miles away from Lewiston. Important to note as well, if you're going online to find out more information about this, as many of us are, there are plenty of fake videos out there circulating on X, on TikTok. They claim to show the arrest of Card. They've been viewed more than 2 million times. Again, authorities say they are still looking for him this morning.
Questions remain about why a 5-year-old boy was found dead in a dumpster in Milwaukee this week. TMJ4 News learning that an Amber Alert was requested when Prince McCree went missing earlier this week, but the alert was not granted. In order to qualify for a statewide Amber Alert, a missing person must be under 17, be in danger of serious bodily harm or death, and there must be enough descriptive information available about a child or suspect. Amber Alert Program Coordinator for the DOJ, Melissa Marchant, tells TMJ4 News.
To stick to those 3 criteria in order to make the program, successful and not to desensitize the public.
2 people are in custody as people of interest in the death of Prince McCree. He was the 20th child killed in Milwaukee so far this year.
Nearly a dozen prisoners at Waupun Correctional Institution are filing a class action lawsuit. They say they're not receiving proper health care at the prison, now in its 7th month on lockdown. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, inmates allege they are being subjected to, quote, cruel and unusual conditions of confinement and are at risk of, quote, pain and suffering, including death. Their complaints range from an 18-month-long waiting list for dental care to denial of medication and medical-ordered meals. Self-harm and suicide has also increased at the prison, including one prisoner who died by suicide while in solitary confinement back in June.
Now that there's a House Speaker, Republicans are debating their next move on how to avoid a partial government shutdown.
New House Speaker Mike Johnson says they need to agree quickly on a path forward. He's floating the possibility of extending funding through mid-January or mid-April to give lawmakers more time. But Johnson told Fox News,
we're working through this with the ideas and trying to ensure that if another stopgap measure is required, that we do it with certain conditions.
What are the conditions specifically?
I think there will be conditions the American people can live with and a consensus that we can build around here in the House.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up, a recognizable face throwing out the first pitch for the World Series tonight. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
Are you feeling the pressure of uncertainty on your financial plan? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. During these uncertain times, many of us are feeling uneasy. So let's talk about it. Join us on Thursday, October 26th at the Milwaukee Marriott West as we examine how you can plan for the unexpected during uncertain times and 3 steps to safeguard your plan. This is a free event, but be sure to register early as seats are limited. Visit thekowalway.com to reserve your spot today. We hope to see you there.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
For those who just can't wait for Black Friday, head over to Fleet Farm today for great Black Friday Now deals. Like a free battery pack with Milwaukee heated jackets, in-store only, or 40% off all men's Field and Forest flannel. And don't miss our trick-or-treating event on Saturday, October 28th from 10 till noon, with treats for the first 200 kids and gift cards for best costumes. Enjoy Black Friday savings now at Fleet Farm, home of everything you need for everyday life.
Jason Rose is the president CEO of AccuRite Tax and Financial Services. They have document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
I think it's very accurate to call it a partnership because it's more of a relationship that you build up over time.
And your practice has had document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems for years.
Yep, they know what you need, they know how to help, they're able to provide suggestions on future improvements or changes.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company. Here for you today, helping you plan for the future.
It's a great deal. James Imaging is the real deal.
And Jason, the bottom line for your practice?
Keep us up and running, especially during tax season.
Keep your business up and running with document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlands.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time 7:08.
Dame's debut and the Bucks win. Brandon Snide has it in sports at 7:15.
Big day tomorrow. Saturday is Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. More than 140 drop-off locations will be available across the state for any disposed of unwanted or unused medication.
It is National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week. Issue hits close to home for a lot of folks in Milwaukee.
You know, the challenge we have in Milwaukee from years of housing neglect is just there's a lot of lead in this city.
Milwaukee Deputy Commissioner of Environmental Health Tyler Weber tells WTMJ the issue is not just lead pipes, but lead paint.
One of the most toxic forms of exposure to lead is inhaling it.
Weber says lead exposure can lead to serious health issues, especially in children. He recommends seeking out testing at your primary care doctor if you're worried about an exposure, something that could affect many city residents.
A lot of our homes have been deteriorating over time, and so that lead just chips off over time.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
You'll recognize the guy throwing out the first pitch of World Series Game 1 tonight.
Please welcome the President of the United States.
Former Texas team owner George W. Bush will hurl the first ball when the Rangers and Diamondbacks square off at Globe Life Field in Arlington. And he's had some practice. The eyes of the world were on Mr. Bush when he threw out the first pitch before Game 3 of the World Series at Yankee Stadium in 2001 after the 9/11 attacks. He got advice from star shortstop Derek Jeter.
I just asked him if he was going to be throwing the first pitch from the mound or in front of the mound.
I said, okay, I'll throw from the mound. And he says, don't bounce it. They'll boo you.
Mr. Bush aced it.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
You know where else he's thrown out the first pitch?
Right here.
Yeah, that's right.
There was some conversation. I can't remember what he ultimately decided, but of course, given that it was right after 9/11 about whether or not he ought to take the hill with a bulletproof vest on.
Sure.
And I can't remember if he decided to do that or not, but he was, and he knew that was an important symbolic moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got to throw a strike here. Like, there was not really a joke between he and Jeter. Like, because Jeter was like, dude, you got to get it here, man.
Pretty remarkable moment. That was a
Right.
crazy World Series.
7:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
You've seen the brothers, the owners of Siding Unlimited's video commercial. You can tell that Eric and Aaron Brown are good guys. And I, as their friend and radio spokesman for about 20 years now, can add that they operate a great company. Their dad instilled in them the importance of integrity, truth and trust, reliability, knowledge, and strength. Quality products for sure, but it's their commitment to the installation that sets Siding Unlimited apart from other companies. Dad built a strong siding business. The sons added windows, doors, roofing, and decks. Siding Unlimited hires experienced American craftsmen to do the best installation of those quality products onto your house. Customers and industry suppliers testify to Siding Unlimited's work ethic and quality. Siding Unlimited's awards fill the office wall. Come see them at the unique outside-in showroom in Gerke's Corners. Just remember siding, then sidingunlimited.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
7-Eleven, let's check in with Debbie here on the roads.
Okay, so far, so good. A little bit tight northbound on 41, but nothing major to panic about. It's going to be slow from Locust to Keefe. But the rest of the system looking pretty good out there. Volume is picking up, but no delays otherwise. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. For today, a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm along a strong cold front that makes its way through southern Wisconsin. We're starting off with numbers in the mid and upper 60s, but by this afternoon, it's the 50s, then the 40s. Mostly cloudy and windy. We'll look for decreasing clouds tonight. Lows dipping back into the mid and upper 30s. Partly cloudy, breezy, and much cooler for Saturday. A high of 48. We'll look for a chance of rain overnight into Sunday. Cloudy, windy, and chilly for the back half of the weekend. Highs in the upper 40s. Mostly sunny, breezy, and cool by Monday, a high of 41, and then Halloween, partly sunny, windy, and cool. A slight chance for a few snow flurries. Highs near 40 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 66 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Decision Wisconsin, countdown to the RNC. Wisconsin's afternoon news host John Mercure leads our latest podcast as we look ahead to the Republican National Convention coming to Milwaukee in the summer. Now, in this episode, we really start getting our arms around how many people are going to be coming to Milwaukee for this event. And if you've thought about trying to make a buck yourself off the influx of visitors. Popular way to do that might be to rent out your place.
Yep, there you go.
Yep. Here's John Mercure talking with Mark Cass, editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal, and Charles Benson, chief political reporter for TMJ4 News.
The media presence is, I mean, we've had a baseball all-star game. We've had big events, but the media presence that's going to be here, this is largely the big, literally the biggest media event that will happen next year, these two conventions. The media in town, Charles, is going to be extraordinary.
Extraordinary, and they're going to take over certain places because they're going to have like a footprint. We're in the football season, so think game day, right? The game day you see on a college campus or a particular location. Now you have all the networks, all the cables, even the Washington Post, the New York Times. They're all going to have big footprints to either showcase what they're doing or bring in people to help talk about what's happening here in the city and in the state. So it's on a scale like you've never seen, and it happens Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday is, they're all leaving town, but there's still the what happened during those final 4 days. So there will be a lot of activity.
And I was impressed, or I also kind of amazed at, even for the thing we had a couple of weeks ago with the debate, they weren't just here from America. They were from all over the world. They were from people here from London, from Egypt. They were everywhere, and they were out on the plaza. Not as large as would be next year, but they were lined up all through the plaza. They had them all set up, and there were just so many media here only for that. Think about, obviously, next year when the convention comes. I mean, they're going to rent out space all around the arena. All those restaurants have the opportunity to get rented out for the whole week.
Mark, we've talked a lot about hotel space in our city. Yeah. Last time when we had kind of the convention, and now this time, hotel space. Will there be the opportunity for VRBO, Airbnb? Will people who own the penthouses in Cudahy Towers, will people who own houses in Pewaukee?
In Menominee Falls, are you asking, John? That's kind of the question he's getting
for a friend.
Just asking for a friend, aren't you?
For a friend, yeah. Can people rent out their houses?
Yes.
Will that be a thing?
It will. It won't be to the official state stuff because they'll be at all of the hotels. But for others who come in, sure. I mean, I've seen it. I saw it last time. There were homes. There were smaller hotels. There were places that were going to be rented out through whether it was a lobbyist, whether it was a company, whether it was executives. Yes, I mean, there'll be opportunities for some really good money. So, John, you might want to think about a vacation kind of that
I'm going to throw that fresh coat of paint on.
A lot of folks at least thinking about that. So if you are, the entire podcast is up right now at WTMJ.com. That's Countdown to the RNC. 7:15, Brandon Snide's got sports coming up next. Commercial insurance is still getting more expensive. To share his knowledge on the topic, here is Jeff Salazinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Hi, Vince. Today's commercial insurance market is more complex than ever. If your insurance professional is not offering you insights on the state of today's insurance market and only providing you a quote, you're with the wrong agent. Inflation of everything has rendered many policies inadequate. Lawsuits and jury awards are being settled for higher amounts than ever before, which means your liability and umbrella policies may be inadequate. Have you discussed this with your agent and how these factors have impacted your business insurance?
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
Sharing market insights and their related impact, as well as laying out strategic options for your business, are what R&R Insurance does best. We've been doing this for 48 years. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
If you have breathing triangle issues like compromised nasal breathing and sleep, snoring, or even sleep apnea issues, a call to Advent makes sense. Because breathing well will help you live better.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Bucks tipped off the start of their season at Pfizer Forum on Thursday night. Damian Lillard making his Bucks debut, and he certainly did not disappoint.
Lillard, step back three, on the way, got it! Damian Lillard, welcome to the Cream City. Game time has arrived with 1:07 to go.
Vinny, last night my kids are asking me, Dad, why are you pointing at your wrist every time he shoots and makes it game time? What? They're like, I don't get it.
I like that.
I had to explain it to him.
Is that a dad joke? A little bit.
Yeah, they're like, my 14-year-old's like, I still don't get it. I'm like,
no,
yeah.
They need to join in now.
Get on the
Game
YouTube.
time.
Yeah, get on your phone. You're always on your phone. Dave Kane on the call there as Dame Time knocks down a three late as they go on for the 118-117 win over the 76ers. Lillard with the historic performance, dropping 39 points, setting a franchise record for most points in a debut performance.
I came in knowing what was expected of me, when these type of situations came, and I've been in enough of those situations where I know it's probably not going to always be me making a shot or taking a shot, but they're encouraging me to be the person to take control and make decisions and decide what's going to happen in those moments, and that's what I'm here to do.
Giannis also having himself a solid night, adding 23 points and 13 rebounds, and with the win, it was the first victory in the head coaching career of Adrian Griffin.
Still a lot to learn as a head coach. Thought we did some really good stuff. I'm probably my toughest critic. I'm fortunate to be in this seat. To start the season, that's toughest as it gets. It's not about me, but I'm really fortunate to be the head coach. But we got a lot of work to do.
The Bucks will be back in action Sunday night as they host the Atlanta Hawks. The Green Bay Packers will welcome in the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday afternoon. Head coach Matt LaFleur on working to get his offense back on track with quarterback Jordan Love.
I think it's important for all quarterbacks, and I think we're still developing that rapport with him and our receiving core. And the one thing I'll tell you is we got a lot of confidence in all those guys that when called upon, they're going to make the play. And we just got to. I think the more they play, the better that everybody's going to get, and they're going to gel together the further we get on into the season.
The Packers got some encouraging news at practice on Thursday for their offense. Running back Aaron Jones, after missing Wednesday's practice, he returned to action. Kickoff is all set for noon on Sunday with coverage beginning right here on WTMJ at 9 a.m. And lastly, Week 8 of the NFL season kicked off last night as the Buffalo Bills take down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a final of 24-18.
The U.S. conducted airstrikes overnight, hitting targets in Syria. We'll tell you why that happened, and then we'll also get you the latest on the continuing search for the gunman in Maine. Both those stories coming up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
When severe weather strikes, you can count on WTMJ's Fleet Farm severe weather coverage to keep you safe and informed.
Tornado warnings in effect for Jefferson and Walworth counties.
I'm on Highway 11 now. For the last 5 minutes or so, it's been just an immense lightning storm.
If you're in Delavan, go to a place of shelter now.
Severe weather coverage on WTMJ. Sponsored by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
With everything going on around the world, isn't it nice to know some good is still happening? Hi, all. Debbie Laziga here for Hall Mazda and the Drive Out Cancer event. You see, Hall has teamed up with This Time Tomorrow Foundation, a charity that raises money for individuals and families fighting all forms of cancer. Together, they've been able to raise over $200,000 over the last 9 years. The way they do it is pretty cool, too. For every car you purchase from Hall, new or used, they've got a great selection, or for every service performed on your car, Hall will donate to the foundation in your honor. Imagine making a real difference in someone's life simply by doing something you're planning on doing anyway. That's the beauty of the Drive Out Cancer event. You can check out more information at hallcars.com and do some good.
The hilarious off-Broadway hit Tony and Tina's Wedding is returning to Milwaukee for 2 weekends in February. Join Tony and Tina at their wedding ceremony as they tie the knot. Then take your seat for the wildest, wackiest wedding reception you'll ever experience. You can kiss the bride, dance with the groom, and eat delicious Italian food with the family. Get yourself invited to off-Broadway's longest-running interactive comedy ever at the Fitzgerald, February 2nd through the 4th and 8th through the 11th. Tickets available 10 a.m. this Friday at PepsTheaterGroup.com.
Thrifters can spot great deals from a mile away. And here the term great deal is an understatement. The lowest prices on men's, women's, and children's clothing, toys, furniture, housewares, jewelry, and accessories, bikes, books, games, and more. And every time you're here, you'll find something new. So if you're thrifty, you'll find this place is pretty nifty. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Personalize your furniture and get it in time for the holidays at Ken Michaels Furniture's pre-holiday sale. Personalize your furniture the way you want it and get it in time for the holidays at Ken Michaels Furniture's pre-holiday furniture sale. Showrooms in Greenfield and Brookfield. Stop in today and save.
Checking in with Debbie here at 7:22.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good right now, Vince. Even the delays that we had on northbound 43 have dissipated. So no delays around the area and no major incidents either. So everything's looking great. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast from meteorologist Brendan Johnson today. High of 68 degrees and then dropping temperatures. Our low gets down to 37 tonight. For Saturday, a chance of overnight rain and a high of just 48 degrees. Sunday, cloudy, windy, chilly with a chance of showers and a high of 47. Right now, 67 in Milwaukee. Going to get you the latest in a moment on the continued search for U.S. Army reservist accused of killing 18 people in Maine. He is still presumably on the run this morning, looking more like a coordinated attack as opposed to a momentary meltdown of a guy who just snapped. But first, want to get you this. The Pentagon announcing that U.S. fighters hit 2 sites in Syria with known ties to Iran.
With everything going on in Israel right now, the United States would like to let Iran know that if they attack our people in Syria or Iraq, that they're going to be hit hard. And I think that's what we did, and it was the right message to send.
That's ABC News contributor Mike Mulroy. The strikes apparently in retaliation for drone attacks on U.S. troops serving in Iraq and Syria. They were carried out by U.S. Air Force F-16s on both an ammunition storage facility and a weapons storage area. That, according to the Pentagon. There's video as well if you're watching the national shows this morning on TV. The U.S. also insisting it did not notify nor coordinate with Israel on this airstrike, looking to separate out U.S. support for the war against Hamas terrorists and incidents wherein U.S. interests, our troops, our contractors have come under direct attack. Thought that was an important message to convey. These are separate things as the U.S. sees them. So that is out there this morning. Now shifting to the manhunt ongoing here at home.
Shelter in place remains for portions of Maine in Lewiston. This after that mass shooting earlier in the week. 18 people dead, more than a dozen others injured as they continue to search for Robert Carr.
2 counties remained under shelter-in-place advisories this morning. Schools and businesses are closed as far as 50 miles from the shooting scenes. The Coast Guard also joined the manhunt, searching the waterways leading to the Atlantic after Card's Subaru was found near a river boat launch. Card does have a boat registered in his name. Canadian border officials issued an alert to officers along the border, warning them to be on the lookout.
Yeah, so the car abandoned. They believe he has a boat that he may be on. The Coast Guard now knows about it. Card remains armed and dangerous, they say, although they did find a gun in the car. They're trying to figure out if that was one of the ones that was used now. Now, CBS and others are reporting that a breakup may have played a role in why he shot up a bowling alley in a restaurant.
Intelligence sources are telling CBS News that they believe that recent breakup may have been a significant destabilizing event in the gunman's life. That said, there is still no clear motive right now for this shooting.
Yeah, so police did find what appeared to be a suicide note in his home. It was addressed to his son. It contained bank information and, quote, rantings in this note. Card this past summer was treated at a mental health facility after reportedly hearing voices and allegedly threatening to attack a National Guard facility. About those voices, again, and you have to take some of this just because obviously dealing with some kind of mental health issue here, but he had reportedly started hearing horrible voices after he started wearing hearing aids, his sister-in-law told NBC. She says he was picking up voices that he had never heard. His mind was twisting them around. He was humiliated by the things he thought he was hearing. I mean, who knows what that is exactly, but just the fact that he had started to, his life was changing there.
Things
clearly.
were unraveling on this guy.
Yes, and that led to this. So they don't know if he's on a boat headed to Canada. They don't even know if he's still on the boat, but it appears he had this planned out a little bit.
And still so many people fearing his whereabouts because the lockdowns
still
are
in
like
place.
50-mile radius, right?
Yeah, and like some of these reporters, when you see it on like the network news, like they're the only ones on the street. They say it's eerie. Like everyone is heeding by this. Everyone's staying locked in for now. There's no vigils. Usually you'll see like a gathering of flowers or whatnot. None of that yet because they want to make sure they're doing the right thing.
Some folks complaining they can't even get to the store.
Right.
Like, and they're not trying to be disrespectful. They're just saying, like, how are we going to get supplies if we have to stay here and for how long? Those are actually questions that do need to be answered. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average down another 250-plus points to 32,784. The NASDAQ was off 1 3/4% to 12,596, and the S&P 500 down about 50 points to 4137. Annex Ignite, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client. They'll meet you where you're at. Details at annexwealth.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Pain relief and gimmicks. The two seem to go hand in hand, and it really is a shame, because when you're living with chronic pain, you're vulnerable. And that's why so many people get tricked into buying unproven treatments. At Rejuvenex, we understand how you suffer, how you wait to get out of bed because you know the pain is coming. Chronic pain from osteoarthritis is a terrible thing, and that's why we use our proprietary, powerful, FDA-approved treatments to precisely target your affected areas, to provide cushion and lubrication that helps deliver long-lasting pain relief in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. We're in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
Can you help me come up with a good catchphrase?
Catchphrase?
You know, like YOLO.
How about BOGO?
What does it mean?
BOGO means buy one, get one.
Ah.
Now through Monday at Hassleus, buy a mattress,
Bo,
and get a box spring free.
Go.
Or take an equal amount off an adjustable base.
YOLO BOGO.
But if you wait too long, this deal is
no mo.
Find a self-service showroom near you or shop online at Hassleus.com.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Just a click before 7:30, I'm Adam Roberts, and this is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Friday, October 27th. Your top story, why no Amber Alert was issued for Milwaukee's Prince McCree.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and actually looking really good out on the roads. Just one update. Southbound on 41 at Pilgrim, we have some debris in the roadway. They may have to close off a lane to clear it out, but luckily volume super light through that area. We've also got some delays, though, on northbound 43. Those got back to normal from North Avenue up past Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
It's cloudy and 65 in Milwaukee.
Thousands of people in Maine remain locked down as authorities continue their manhunt for Robert Card. He's suspected of killing at least 18 people in a mass shooting in Lewiston Wednesday. 13 people were hurt. ABC's Trevor Alt has their stories.
Jennifer Zanka says her back was to the shooter when he opened fire, shattering the bone in her arm.
I got hit, I think, when I went to the ground, and then I stood up and followed one of the other girls. She knew how to get out the back way.
The retired nurse says doctors tell her she will recover. Her daughter with her at the hospital.
I just didn't think she was even going to be alive or that I'd ever get to see her again.
As part of the manhunt on Thursday, law enforcement surrounded a home near Bowdoin that belonged to one of Card's family members. He was not inside. Authorities have found a letter from Card addressed to his son. It has been described as a suicide note. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Citing unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, questions remain this morning surrounding a 5-year-old boy who was found dead in a dumpster in Milwaukee on Thursday. Our partners at TMJ4 News learned an Amber Alert was requested when Prince McCree went missing, but the alert was not granted by the State Department of Justice. There's high bars to clear in order for an Amber Alert to be issued. In order to qualify, a missing person must be under 17 years of age, be in danger of serious bodily harm or death, and there must be enough descriptive information available about both the child and a suspect. Amber Alert Program Coordinator for the DOJ, Melissa Marchant, tells TMJ4 News.
We really need to stick to those 3 criteria in order to make the program, successful and not to desensitize the public.
The state of Wisconsin has received nearly 95,000 missing children reports, but issued just 59 Amber Alerts over the last 20 years. In Milwaukee, Prince was the 20th child killed in the city in 2023. Parents in Wauwatosa receiving word this week that both Jefferson and Washington elementary schools are in early talks to potentially close.
Emily Bila is a Wauwatosa parent and president of the Jefferson Elementary PTA. She tells WTMJ that both parents and teachers are shocked to hear the news.
We're not happy at the way the communication came out. We thought it was pretty vague. We didn't think the teachers are very supported in this decision and were very informed along the way.
Bila adds that closing schools would affect the walkability that Tosa schools are known for.
And that opportunity to be outside, connect with people every single day by walking your kids to school is what makes this a destination for people to want to move to.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
If the 2 schools were to close, the Wauwatosa School District would see their total number of elementary schools shrink from 9 to 7. Allegations of fraud levied against a northern Wisconsin car dealer. According to the Wisconsin Department of Justice, the current and former owners of Rhinelander Auto Group and its general manager Daniel Town have agreed to a court-ordered settlement of over $1 million to Native American customers they allegedly scammed. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports in a lawsuit against the dealership, the dealer allegedly charged an average of over $1,300 more for add-ons in credit transactions for Native Americans compared to non-Latino white customers, dating back to 2016. And it was Dame time indeed for the Bucks at Fiserv Forum last night. Wisconsin's Afternoon News spoke with Peter Fagan, Bucks president, on Thursday, speaking about his anticipation for the season.
This could be, other than opening the arena and kind of the first night I was in this job, like the most exciting, kind of anticipated. I'm excited we've got a core group kind of re-signed and done.
Dame scored 39 in his first game with his new team, setting a record for the most points by a player in their Bucks debut. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts, citing unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or 2 with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Oh, and she's got a new album dropping today. That story next.
Since 1946, Ansay & Associates has provided insurance to help secure businesses and families throughout Wisconsin. As a family-owned independent agency, customer satisfaction is our first and foremost priority. Our approach is relationship-driven and solutions-oriented to your individual needs and risk management for each customer, personal or business. As one of Wisconsin's top 10 insurance agencies and among the top 5% of agents nationwide, Ansay & Associates can provide all of your insurance needs, from business, commercial, and employee benefits to individual and family coverages. Ansay & Associates is more than insurance. Ansay & Associates is your personal and business solutions partner. Visit ansay.com today and get a free consultation with one of our strategists. Or come see us in person at any of our local offices. Ansay & Associates, securing and protecting your American dream.
You've probably heard some things about Social Security. Some of them true, some of them not. But here's the main thing. Social Security is here for you today, and it will be here for you tomorrow. Find out what Social Security means for you and your family. Attend a special town hall at the Tripoli Shrine Center on Wednesday, November 1st, sponsored by AARP Wisconsin. For more information, visit MilwaukeeTownHall.org. That's MilwaukeeTownHall.org. This ad paid for by the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare.
Get the help you need. Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Hair Construction and Abbey Windows.
At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:37.
How about that game? Took forever, but the Bucks pulled out the win to start the season, and Dame time was pretty impressive. Brandon Snides got that at sports at 7:45.
1989 returns. Taylor Swift is out with a new version of an old album.
Why'd you have to leave me on? Why'd you have to twist the night?
Swift's fourth re-release dropped at midnight, and critics love it. Rolling Stone says 1989 Taylor's version has the best vault tracks yet.
Everyone wants it, that was my crime.
The deluxe edition includes 16 original tracks from her 2014 album, plus 5 unreleased songs from the vault, including Say Don't Go and Now We Don't Talk.
You grew your hair long.
In a handwritten note to fans, Swift calls it a reflection of the woods we've wandered through and all the love between us still glowing in the dark. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
So this is her fourth re-recorded album after her former label sold her masters back in 2019. So that's a whole big issue there. But again, this goes back to my other point about the marketing. So you have the movie, you have the Eras tour.
You have the Kelsey.
You're on NBC with, one of the most well-known NFL players right now. And there's a method to all of this, right? Like there's a reason for her being on NBC Sunday Night Football. Again, to help raise awareness, sell another album.
You and I are on the same page. Like I'm not into her music, but I just appreciate
the game. Oh yeah, she works hard. She's earned every penny.
Super smart on all these levels, and she works. Those concerts are amazing. They go for 2+ hours, right? 2.5 hours is what they're saying on that one.
And she's redoing all these albums so she can have control of them because they're hers. And the amount of money she's making off it, too. Well done. Congratulations.
News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. It's heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
Do you cringe when you look at your high school pictures? So much has changed. From your hair, today you might not have any, or maybe it's a completely different color. How about the innocence of your smile? We grow up and learn the world is bigger than we thought. It's the same with your money. Your views of wealth, legacy, and taxes have all grown up. Has your financial plan? At Annex Wealth Management, our team of tax experts can help you understand how your plan could improve. The Annex team will show you strategies that could help safeguard your wealth. And because we're fee-only fiduciaries, you won't have to put up with high-pressure sales or advice that isn't in your best interest. As you accumulate more wealth, there's a chance your tax pictures become more complex. The Annex Tax Smart Strategy Review will give you insights on your current tax plan and help build a framework to prioritize tax strategies. Take a proactive approach. Get an Annex Wealth Management Tax Smart Strategy Review. Visit annexwealth.com/taxsmart.
Enjoy a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here to talk about one of my favorite places. It's the most beautiful and affordable fall weekend dining experience in the state. I know. I've been there many, many times. Enjoy your favorite steak, seafood, ribs, pasta, anything on the menu. Your second dinner's free. You walk in, you put your seats in the seats, and only half of you pay for your dinner. Desserts are also buy one, get one free every night. Saturday, buy one prime rib dinner, get one free. Enjoy that Manhattan. Sip on an old-fashioned. Check out the bourbon. Drink the wine. Great new wine list. The magnificent Sunday brunch is all you care to eat. Kids under 3 eat free always. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive to the Fox and Hounds through the Kettle Moraine Forest. The fall colors are spectacular. A Wisconsin must-see. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the Holy Hill Shrine. You'll love the all-you-can-eat Friday fish fry. All other dinners are buy one, get one free this weekend. Step away from your kitchen. The famous Fox and Hounds.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law fights for those who fought for us. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied the VA benefits you're entitled to, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Checking in with Debbie here, 19 minutes before 8 o'clock.
All right, well, we've got a little bit of a backup north and southbound on 43, both adding up to an extra 2 minutes in either direction. So we've got delays northbound from North Avenue all the way up to Keefe, southbound slowing down just north of Capitol Drive down past Locust. A little bit tight on 41 southbound as well, right around the North Avenue curve to Mayfair Road. Northbound's a little slow from Watertown Plank Road up past Swan Boulevard. Super tight little area right there. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm along a strong cold front that makes its way through southern Wisconsin. We're starting off with numbers in the mid and upper 60s. By this afternoon, it's the 50s, then the 40s. Decreasing clouds tonight, windy conditions with lows dipping back into the upper 30s. Partly cloudy, breezy, and much cooler for Saturday with a high of 48. We'll look for some overnight rain that carries over into Sunday. Otherwise, cloudy, windy, and chilly, highs in the upper 40s. Mostly sunny, breezy, and cool on Monday, high of 41, and then partly sunny, windy, and cool for Halloween with a slight chance for a few snow flurries. Highs near 40 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 66 degrees. .43 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Halloween weekend. Everybody's going to be out, right?
So I'm going to the game, too, on Saturday. I'm not sure what to make of what Madison will be like.
Oof. Ohio State, under the lights, big game, all that stuff, plus Halloween weekend in Madison.
Oh, boy. Maybe we'll jet a little bit early. Maybe I'll be
Cuckoo
that guy.
Town, for sure. I'm bringing my kids. God help us.
Ooh, hello.
They're going to see some stuff.
Here's some college.
Right. You sure you want to do this?
Hey, do you know what happens on Tuesday on Halloween Day, right here on this very program?
See, I don't know
Annual
if it does.
Event now.
That's not been decided.
Okay, well, you're right. But we drop it, though. It's a podcast no matter what. I guess we haven't decided if it's going to air on the radio.
We have not.
Because I don't know if it can. So this is...
You don't even know if it can. Much. I'm already committed to it shouldn't.
This is our annual holiday horror radio show on Wisconsin's Morning News. Last year we did The Smoke.
Because it's a year-old tradition.
No, it's a tradition.
Last year.
Doing this for years. Now, this year, the radio show is called Santa Claus. We do have a little snippet here of the Halloween radio show.
These are modeled. Let me just explain quickly. Eric is a writer, and he likes to do these things. He's modeled this after like the old-timey radio shows where you get the family around and listen to.
Yeah.
And they're schlocky and odd when you listen back to them now, but they were, that was the entertainment of the day. So through that lens, you have viewed these various works that you put together.
Well, but this one is unique because it was written by me, but not by me. It was written by me when I was 12. So we found a
for
story.
An actual school project, and now you have adapted it for the radio.
Yeah, so here's a snippet of Santa Claus, our Halloween horror radio show.
What? I thought I'd just get cold for Christmas.
Well, sure, if you do one thing wrong. But you've been naughty all year long.
The clock was ticking down. 3, 2, 1. The large blade fell. And Billy awoke. Here we go.
Ooh, scary.
So you play Billy.
Why did I have to play Billy, too?
Because you're good at it.
Wasn't Billy you?
Well, no, I wrote it. I wasn't Billy.
Oh.
So I'm the narrator.
Yeah, it's autobiographical.
I don't know.
Yeah, thank
Seems
you.
oddly so.
My favorite, though, about Vince is you ask him to do anything, even if he doesn't want to do it, Debbie, he goes 110%.
100%.
I said I'd do it.
Yeah. And you went all in, so thank you. So we'll have to figure out. We're going to drop it on Tuesday. We'll figure out if we get it on the radio or not.
We should ask people. Should we poll? Should we start a poll now?
Well,
do you want to hear the whole thing
first,
on the
right?
radio? Well, do you want to hear any more of what you just heard? Or not?
That's fantastic.
Because I don't.
That's a ringtone right there.
Let's get to sports next with Brandon.
Do you check your savings account and wonder if you're even saving at all? At Town Bank, we view banking differently and actually want to see your savings grow. With our amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates or visit a Town Bank branch nearest you today. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
For those who just can't wait for Black Friday, head over to Fleet Farm today for great Black Friday Now deals. Like a free battery pack with Milwaukee heated jackets, in-store only. Or 40% off all men's field and forest flannel. And don't miss our trick-or-treating event on Saturday, October 28th from 10 till noon, with treats for the first 200 kids and gift cards for best costumes. Enjoy Black Friday savings now at Fleet Farm, home of everything you need for everyday life.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Bucks opened up their new season with a 118-117 victory over the Philadelphia 76ers Thursday night at Pfizer Forum. Damian Lillard making his Bucks debut and leaving fans with an unforgettable performance.
Banging around, glides in, missed the shot, gets it back, had it knocked away again, gets it again, feeds it out. Lillard, three-pointer for the lead. It's Dame time. 105-104, Damian Lillard with his first points of the fourth quarter put the Bucks back ahead by one.
Dave Kane on the call as Lillard would knock down 3 of his 39 points. He would set a franchise record for most points in a debut.
You know, I think anytime your team is encouraging you to be yourself and do what you do when it's so early, it helps. They're encouraging me to be the person to take control and make decisions and, you know, decide what's going to happen in those moments. And that's what I'm here to do.
Giannis adding 23 of his own, also setting a franchise record, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the most field goals made. Head coach Adrian Griffin speaking postgame on his new impressive duo.
You know, Dame is Dame. We knew what we were getting when we got him. We want him to be Dame. We want Giannis to be Giannis. And those guys are proven. And I thought Dame played a really smart game as far as he knew when he had to take over. And you can see they complement each other out there. They really do. And it's only going to get better. You know, like I said, it's just one game. We can't lose sight of, you know, our ultimate goal. But it was a good start.
The Bucks will next welcome in the Atlanta Hawks on Sunday night. The Wisconsin Badgers are back in Madison tomorrow. A primetime Big Ten showdown with Ohio State is next up for Luke Fickell's team. The former Buckeye turned Badger speaking this week on playing his old team.
For me, the most important thing, or the first thing to start off with, is it's not about me. It's about the players. It's about our team. It's about our program. It's about the journey that we're on and the process that we're in, not the specifics of, hey, you went to school there. Hey, you played there. Hey, you got guys on your staff from there. When the ball's kicked off, that'll have absolutely no effect on anything that happens on that field.
Kickoff in Madison is scheduled for 6:30 on Saturday night. And lastly, the Green Bay Packers are just days away from their Week 8 matchup with their NFC North rival, the Minnesota Vikings. On the defensive side of the ball, the Packers will look to get back on track starting this weekend. And for coordinator Joe Barry, it's all going to begin with his unit.
You know, our mindset is we don't have to, we don't want to rely on, you know, hey, let's go down and score a touchdown offensively to win the game. No, let's let us seal the deal.
Kickoff is set for noon. Green Bay game day coverage starts at 9 a.m. right here on WTMJ. After hearing Joe Barry, you feel better now.
Absolutely confident now. We'll ask Tauscher about it next. Mark Tauscher joins us on Wisconsin's Morning News.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
Time to check in with Mark Hass, editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal.
There's a big need for money in Milwaukee.
Entertainment.
Matt Miller from OnMilwaukee.com.
I've had enough Aaron Rodgers to last me a lifetime.
And more.
We got a busy show today.
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
It's Chevy truck season, and with a Chevy Silverado, there's no such thing as an uphill battle. With a Chevy Silverado, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. Because with impressive towing capability, an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen, and the choice of powerful engines to pick from, whatever your mountain, there's a Silverado with the capability you need. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
Here at Richlands, we offer both comfort service and expert service.
Our comfort service comes with movie theater popcorn, hot gourmet coffee, upfront pricing, on-time scheduling, plus anything else we can do to keep you comfortable.
Put that on top of honest service from the most friendliest, hard-working people you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center, and well, we'd like to believe we're on the right track to meeting your expectations.
But when your check engine light, tire light, or any other light screams, "Service me," well, that means you're due for our other type of service.
Our expert service. Tires, brakes, belts, mufflers, transmissions, and even engine repair.
Come on into Richlands and put our expert service to the test.
And while you're relaxing, enjoy our comfort services too. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, your
due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
The celebration continues this week at Sendik's. USDA inspected trimmed beef tenderloin is just $8.99 per pound. That's the lowest price all year. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926, Deb.
All righty. We got a little bit of a backup now. Southbound 43 coming in from just before Capitol Drive all the way down past Locust. Northbound slow from Fond du Lac up to Keith. We got some backups along northbound 41 from about Wisconsin Avenue up past Swan Boulevard, with the southbound side slowing down right around that North Avenue curve to about Mayfair Road. They still have this issue on 41 southbound. It's a broken down vehicle and with some debris apparently. They may have to close off some lanes through that area. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Story of the day will be dropping temperatures. High of 68. We're practically there right now with a slight chance of a shower or storm. And then decreasing clouds tonight and a low temperature down to 37 degrees. Not much better for the weekend. Saturday's high just 48. Sunday high of 47. Cloudy, windy, and chilly on Sunday. Right now it's 66 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
You're on the same team. Communicate. Let these guys know so that we all understand, hey, we don't have him. We better have alternative opportunities and figure out a game plan.
Innovative.
You have to have a little bit of Vinny, a little bit of Eric, and mix it all together, and it makes yourself, what is it in that Bruce Almighty? It makes yourself a heck of a cookie, and if you don't, you just got a bunch of nuts.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
And that just made the open.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by your Southeastern Wisconsin Chevy dealers. Going to the Badger game tomorrow, Tausch. It'll be the first for my twins. 16 years old, high school juniors. Halloween weekend, under the lights at Camp Randall. They're going to see some stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll see some stuff. There'll be some good educational moments. Do you come in costume is the question.
No, we're just going to come badgered up.
Okay. Yeah, I think I don't know if last week or the last game at home was the stripe out game. I think this is all red. There's going to be some super fun stuff. I don't know if it's been announced. The halftime show is going to be pretty sweet. So this is what I think, back in the old days, Coach Alvarez would always say when we'd have these games, we'd play Michigan, we'd play Ohio State, and we were underdogs. That's when the coach would always say, this is why you came to Wisconsin. Vinny, this is why you're coming to the game, because the Ohio State has always been kind of the test point for where we're at as a program. We've struggled against them in the past. I think that's a big reason why Luke Fickell is here, is to close that gap. And I'm excited to see kind of where we're at in that, split between Wisconsin and Ohio State and Michigan and the big boys in the Big Ten.
Is there a similar comparison to the Packers and Vikings on Sunday at Lambeau Field?
No, I don't think it's close. If we're at the point now where we're saying, boy, we have to close the gap with the Vikings, then I really have concerns about where we're at. But Minnesota, you know what? They played, I believe, will be their best game of the year on Monday. And I said this on Wilde and Tausch. I've been saying it all week. I love it. I always want teams to be feeling as good about themselves as they can, because that psychological makeup makes such a huge part, especially in NFL games that are usually razors close. I love the fact Minnesota's coming off their best game. I think they're feeling really good about themselves. And Green Bay, probably, at least I hope, that the Denver Broncos game was the low point of this season. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I certainly hope that's the case. And I think you're going to see an incredibly highly motivated team with one extra day rest at home. I haven't said this all year. I love Green Bay to win on Sunday.
Do it. Lock them in.
Wow.
Yeah, I said this yesterday. I didn't get the reaction I hoped for, but you guys know what? So Mad Dog Russo has his show. He's got his whole station on Sirius XM, and he put his job on the line, basically saying that the Philadelphia Phillies were going to beat Arizona. They had 2 cracks at doing it at Philly, and if they didn't, he was going to retire.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to put my jobs on the line.
I hope
and
you
retire,
don't. Yeah.
but I'm putting Mad Dog Chris Russo's job on the line. That's how confident I feel about the Green Bay Packers beating Minnesota this weekend.
What's the trick-or-treat situation for you back home? Is it a Sunday deal, or do you guys go on the night?
So we're doing Tuesday. I think Halloween is Tuesday, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
I found my costume. I have a scarf. I don't know what we're actually doing. I think we initially were going to do some type of Eleanor was going to be Barbie. Max was going to be Ken. They have a couple of buddies that they're doing. And then Sarah and I usually will jump in, and whatever the kids throw at us, we do. And I have a scarf, and it looks like some type of blue jean. I have no idea. I think we're Minions. I think that's what we're doing, but I don't know. And then always that tricky part, and I'm sure we'll talk about this on Tuesday. Do you want to – I always want to be out with the kids, but now they're getting to the age where they kind of want to just be with their friends. Do I stay back and hand out the candy bars, or do you go to the neighbors and drink a bunch of Coors Lights and then walk home? I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
The latter sounds pretty awesome.
It sounds a lot more fun, that's for sure.
Yeah, but no, man, Tausch, the kids want to see you. You're that house in that neighborhood. They want to get a candy bar from Tausch. Give them an hour and then go to the neighbors.
Yeah. Okay, I'm torn on that because in the past we obviously walked with the kids.
Yeah.
And we would just leave. You know how that whole thing goes. Dead empty and all that. So, yeah, I've been debating it. I think I'm leaning the way you're thinking, Vinny. I think that's where I'm leaning.
Front-ended.
Do you guys feel good? Hey, do you guys feel good about Sunday or do you not? Because I don't sense a ton of optimism coming from you guys.
I do not.
I just haven't seen anything good in a while.
Give me
Zero.
some piece of evidence that I can hang my hat on other than news conference things about, we're going to clean this up.
You guys are fuddy-duddies. Let's go. Let's get a little bit of positive mojo back. Maybe we can flip this script.
Awesome.
Okay. I'm going to knock on the door at the booth tomorrow. When you're up there.
You're always welcome.
Hey, yeah.
No,
I'm a friend of Mark. No, he's expecting me. No, Tausch, it's Vinny.
Hey, who is that? I can't tell.
I can't tell. Business headlines are up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Margaret Notchek.
The Starbucks at Red Arrow Park in downtown Milwaukee will close at the end of November. Milwaukee County owns the space and is seeking proposals from other businesses who want to operate there. A children's entertainment center called Kids Empire will soon make its Wisconsin debut. It's opening in the coming weeks on Blue Mound Road in Brookfield and plans a second location at Bayshore in early 2024. Fiserv has sold its financial reconciliation business to a Texas-based firm for $232 million. The business was part of the Brookfield Company's smallest business segment. I'm Teddy Nykel with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Do you hear that hissing sound? I think it's the sound of some steam being let out of the fall housing market. As the average 30-year fixed rate has crept toward 8%, some buyers have taken a break. Homes aren't selling on the first weekend anymore. Some are still selling over asking, but fewer and by not as much. Some sellers are even willing to chip in toward buyer closing costs to get their asking price. Now, do you hear that knocking sound? That's opportunity. Opportunity for well-prepared home shoppers. This dip in home buyer demand is not going to last, and mortgage rates are forecast to dip next year. Here's the best part. AccuNet can show you how to use a seller closing cost credit to lower your monthly payment by $100 or maybe even $200 a month for the first year or two while we wait for the refi window of opportunity to open, which we can typically accomplish with no loan costs. It's your choice, fear or opportunity. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and become a confident, opportunistic, rock-solid home shopper. That's ACCUNET.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Team Pella executing incredible plays. Products with limited lifetime warranties. Amazing innovations. Blinds and shades between the glass. Stylish windows with hidden screens that make game days a breeze. Installation completed in as little as a day, leaving no mess or hassle. Just perfect results. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com. 6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 10/31/23.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8:02, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Friday, October 27th. Our top story, the manhunt for Robert Card extending to the U.S.-Canada border.
I'm Eric Bilstead. U.S. airstrikes in Syria.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Slowing down now on 43. The southbound side slows from Hampton Avenue all the way down almost to North Avenue with a 15-minute ride Brown Deer Road to downtown. It's an extra 4. 15 on the northbound side as well, backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe. And westbound 94 slowing down right through the stadium interchange itself. We're at about a 9-minute ride from downtown to the zoo. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Slight chance of a shower or storm today, but the bigger story is our dropping temperatures. We get to a high of 68 and then the bottom falls out. Decreasing clouds, windy, and a low down to 37 tonight. Right now at 68 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the manhunt for Lewiston, Maine mass shooting suspect Robert Card now extending over multiple states up to the Canadian border as law enforcement still trying to find the person whom they believe is responsible for killing at least 18 people. Folks who live in Lewiston and other surrounding towns still remain on a shelter-in-place order. Schools along with businesses are closed. The search intensifying. CBS News correspondent Bradley Blackburn.
As far as the weapon used, our understanding right now is that it's a semi-automatic style rifle with a scope and an extended magazine, a high-capacity magazine. We've seen similar weapons used in mass shootings before.
Here at home, questions remain about why a 5-year-old boy was found dead in a dumpster in Milwaukee on Thursday. Now, TMJ4 News has learned that an Amber Alert was requested when Prince McCree went missing this week, but the alert was not granted. In order to qualify for a statewide alert, a missing person must be under 17, be in danger of serious bodily harm or death, and there must be enough descriptive information available about the child and suspect. There are 2 people in custody still waiting for more details about what happened to McCree in Milwaukee. Now he has become the 20th child killed in the city this year.
A northern Wisconsin car dealer accused of fraud, according to the Wisconsin Department of Justice. The current and former owners of Rhinelander Auto Group and its general manager, Daniel Town, agreed to a court-ordered settlement over $1 million to Native American customers whom they allegedly scammed. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports in a lawsuit against the car dealership. The dealer allegedly charged an average of more than $1,300 more for add-ons in credit transactions for Native Americans than non-Latino white customers since 2016.
Earlier this week, President Biden had warned Iran to not try to spread conflict in the Middle East as Tehran supports Hamas and Hezbollah and the attacks on Israel. But early this morning, the U.S. carrying out airstrikes against Iranian-backed fighters in Syria, who've been firing rockets at American installations in that region. CBS News correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
A senior defense official and a senior military official tell CBS News the strikes were carried out by F-16 fighter jets. They say it was in defense of U.S. forces, separate from support of Israel. Since the Hamas attacks, U.S. forces operating in Iraq and Syria have come under increased rocket attacks by Iranian-backed militias. Just Thursday, U.S. officials say there were 3 more attacks on U.S. forces, a total of 19 since October 17th.
U.S. bases in Syria and in Iraq are holdovers in the war on terror, including against ISIS.
And that's where we're going to start at 8:10 this morning. Some more information on how those strikes were carried out and other trouble in the skies for the U.S. military. That coming up at 8:10. Coming up next, sorry, our McFlurry spoon is broken. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
If you can't get a good night's sleep, let me ask you, are you breathing well? Because if you're snoring or waking up each night with a stuffed up nose, or frustrated with your CPAP mask, the root of your sleep problem lies in your breathing triangle. And if any one of those passages isn't working, you won't sleep well. And there's no mattress, pill, or other gimmick that can fix that. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. A recipe for a good night's sleep starts with an open airway. Now, there are devices that can help solve snoring or sleep apnea problems. If you walk into a sleep center, know you'll walk out with a CPAP. And you might find other options elsewhere. But the simple truth is, if your nose doesn't work properly, no device will help. Only at Advent will you find every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution, along with a world-class team that can get your nose working properly again.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Happy Fish Fry Friday. John Merck here from WTMJ. I love the Mine Shaft's Fish Fry. And listen to this. The Mine Shaft has lowered the price on their Wednesday and Friday fish fry. The cod is all you can eat. It's $9.99. Now, the shrimp, perch, and poor man's lobster are all $9.99. And each one is all you can eat. It's yummy and it's affordable. Don't pay $16 to $20 for a fish fry. Just don't do it. It's $9.99 at the Mine Shaft. And desserts, I love the chocolate cake, are buy one, get one free every day. Your kids can safely play in that $5 million game room, quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your dinner. The Mine Shaft is family friendly, and the Saturday prime rib dinner is under $25. The Sunday brunch, under $15. Great value. The super affordable Mine Shaft in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. Plenty of seating. Plenty of close parking, serving families like yours for over 46 years. Reserve your table for the all-you-can-eat fish fry today. Under $10, it's the Mine Shaft.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:08.
This week, National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week, an issue for many Milwaukee homeowners.
If you're worried that your home might be served by lead service lines, Milwaukee Waterworks Superintendent Patrick Pauly tells WTMJ there's an easy way to get the answer, a complete list of addresses on the city website.
They can find out if the service line providing water to their building is in fact made of lead.
If you do have lead pipes bringing water to your home, there's no way to get in line for them to be replaced, with certain pipes prioritized by the city to replace first. But Pauly says there are things you can do to minimize your risk of exposure.
The use of a water filter or the flushing of the pipes after periods of stagnation.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Pauly also recommends running the water for at least 3 minutes after that stagnation if you are going to flush out your pipes.
Say so long to one of McDonald's signature utensils.
It's a soft, creamy, crunchy, truly unique dessert.
Starting this month, Mickey D's is ditching its hollowed-out plastic McFlurry spoons. Or are those straws? They've stirred debate for years, not just over what they actually are, but over plastic waste. Now the company says it'll retrofit its ice cream machines with reusable spindles, so it won't need to use McFlurry spoons anymore to stir the frosty treats. McDonald's calls it a sustainable glow-up. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
I'd just be happy if the machine's working, right? Isn't that the thing? Like
right,
the ice cream machine's never working?
Oh, sorry.
8:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I made a Mission Furniture slide presentation for Penny Mustard customers. Want to see?
No.
Why?
If you want customers to see Mission Furniture, show them the Spencer bedroom.
Ooh, good idea. It's textbook Mission.
Full extension glides, drawers you can stand on, hidden storage, and forever tight bed brackets.
Spencer's in my presentation. Here, I'll show you.
How long is it?
Only 174 slides.
Oh.
The Spencer bedroom, starting at $58.03 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We needed to sell Mom's home quickly and with a company we could rely on.
No showings, no closing costs, no staging, no real estate agent fees, no added stress.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
8:10, and we'll get an update on the roads here with Debbie.
All right, southbound on 43 from just south of Hampton Avenue all the way down past Locust. Going to be a bit heavy. Northbound side, a little slow there from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Keefe. Looks like we got a broken down vehicle on 175 southbound just past I-94 off on the left shoulder. So just heads up with that. Might be a little bit tight. 41 north and southbound's eased up nicely, though. Not seeing delays there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Already at today's high of 68 degrees, and temperatures will be falling. Get down to a low of 37 degrees tonight. We do have a slight chance of a shower or storm as well through the day, and windy. Right now it's 68 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Friday show going into the weekend. Banters at home, Packers at home. We got the Vikings on Sunday. TMJ4 Susan Kim going to join us later this hour.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame.
Yes.
He's getting the gold jacket today. Now, I don't know what they give out. Susan and one of my other teammates from TMJ4, Andrew Triplett, going into the Hall of Fame for the Milwaukee Press Club tonight. So
Trip a photog, right?
Those guys see everything, man.
Those photogs?
You know, I'll make the point with Susan, but think about, as you watch TV news here, reporters come and go pretty quickly. Anchors sometimes stick around for a little while, but even for them, they're at 2, 3, 4 stops into their career, whatever. Some of these photogs, this was their first job. Photographers. So camera guy, camera lady.
Yep.
This might be their first job. They started here. They're here for a career.
A lot of them from here, which is cool.
They've seen all of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they've trained all the new young ones every time they come through. Young Vinny. Hey, can we go over here? No, man, we're not going over there. Right. Here's where we need to be for this. Okay. So anyway, we'll talk with Susan at about 20 minutes before 9 o'clock. A great honor, and actually I had to convince her to come on because she is super humble and she's like, I'm not going to come on and talk all about can't be all about me.
Right.
Okay, well, we'll talk about some other stuff then.
Okay, good. Looking forward to it.
So got all that ahead. I want to get to 2 stories here on the unfriendly skies. One as it relates to the war in the Middle East, but starting with an alarming escalation of hostilities, if you will, between the U.S. and China. Maybe you've seen the video if you've been watching the network shows this morning. A Chinese fighter jet flew within, they say, 10 feet. Do you know how close that is in the sky? 10 feet of a U.S. military B-52 over the South China Sea. 10 feet.
It's right here in the room.
Yeah, right. Me to you almost, right? So aircraft flying at hundreds of miles an hour, 10 feet apart over the South China Sea. Officials calling it a close call, a nearly mid-air collision. Now, this is not terribly uncommon for the U.S. to encounter other aircraft and for those pilots to kind of mess around up there. But the U.S. is saying in this case it was reckless and unsafe.
The Chinese intercept U.S. aircraft in international airspace on a regular basis. That is not usually unsafe. What was unsafe in this instance was how uncontrolled and wobbly the actual intercept was by the Chinese pilot.
That's ABC News contributor, former State Department official Steve Ganyard breaking that down. Wobbly, appearing not in control of the aircraft. But it's interesting, though. As I said, these encounters, and Ganyard says, these things happen. Mm-hmm. They happen pretty often. You remember the scene in Top Gun, right?
Oh, of course.
Opening scene, right?
Yes.
Front end of the film, the U.S. fighters, Russian fighters messing with each other in international airspace.
You were in a 4G inverted dive with the MiG-28?
Yes, ma'am.
At what range?
No, about 2 meters. Well, it's actually about 1.5, I think.
It's 1.5, right? Maverick and Goose up there, flying close to the MiG upside down, peeking in the canopy.
Lieutenant, what were you doing there?
Communicating. Keeping up foreign relations. Giving him the bird. The finger.
Yes, I know the finger. Goose.
Thanks, Goose.
Do you think they were communicating a couple of days ago in the B-52?
Right. So, our fighter pilots we've talked with over the years to indicate that's obviously embellished there for Top Gun. When we talked to our guy out of the 115th in Madison, Top Gun trained Colonel Charlie Merkel, he told us that guys like Maverick, they don't last very long. They're dangerous. If you're breaking rules and stuff like that,
no one likes you.
That's not funny.
Right.
You're everyone's problem.
That's because every time you go up in the air, you're unsafe. I don't like you because you're dangerous.
That's right, Iceman. Doesn't like him. And that's actually more to the truth that we've heard from multiple fighter jets. Right. Nah, these guys don't hang around. But not to that extent. But again, this stuff does happen for real. Interactions between the U.S. and adversaries over open skies. It is worrisome that either due to poor training and execution or for some more nefarious purposes, such as deliberate provocation, that Chinese pilots are increasingly getting reckless up there.
The Chinese do not have a good track record flying formation on U.S. military aircraft. And in this case, we see the pilot did not have the airplane under control. The rate of closure was way too much. He was fighting the airplane coming aboard the B-52. Very unsafe. It should have been much safer for any professional or well-trained pilot.
And that's ABC News contributor and former State Department official Steve Ganyard. I think his point is well taken, too. Even if he didn't mean to, this pilot didn't mean to cause a collision or something like that, just was messing around. You collide with a B-52? Like, are we at war?
Yeah, right. I mean, they just rammed a boat not that long ago, too. I mean, it wasn't a U.S. boat. Let's see, a Philippine Coast Guard ship.
Getting frisky.
They rammed last week.
So it's a thing to watch, particularly as the U.S. is, perhaps our adversaries would suggest, distracted by the war in Ukraine, certainly what's happening in the Middle East. Better keep an eye on China. To the earlier point, U.S. carried out airstrikes against targets in Syria. That is ongoing right now. The Pentagon announced U.S. fighters hit 2 sites in Syria with known ties to Iran.
With everything going on in Israel right now, the United States would like to let Iran know that if they attack our people in Syria or Iraq, that they're going to be hit hard. And I think that's what we did, and it was the right message to send.
And ABC News contributor Mike Mulroy on that. Strikes apparently in retaliation for drone attacks on U.S. troops who are serving in Iraq and Syria. They were carried out by U.S. Air Force F-16s, which took off from the region. You asked an interesting question. Where exactly do we have air bases?
Yeah, just happen to have one in Syria.
Yeah, they said undisclosed air base.
We have one in Iraq. I know that. A couple of bases.
The strikes, as I said, carried out by Air Force F-16s, looked like from the video like an air-to-surface missile.
Mm-hmm.
Checked in with Brandon Snide. Now, he's Army, but he knows how those things work over there.
He's aware.
Yeah, he said that's what it looked like to him. Knocked out an ammunition storage facility and a weapons storage area, that according to the Pentagon. Important here, too, the U.S. insisting that Israel was neither informed of nor involved in these airstrikes in any way. ABC's Luis Martinez.
Senior U.S. official denied that Israel was notified in advance of the U.S. airstrikes and said that they did not coordinate with the Israelis at all, and said that tonight's actions were really all about American self-defense, defending U.S. troops in the region who are coming under attack, and is very different from the relationship of the U.S. providing security assistance to Israel in the wake of the Hamas attack.
You have a curious look on your face.
Wouldn't you think you give them a heads up? I mean, given
they were going to blow some stuff up right on your border, just so you know, that's us. This is what we're doing.
I mean, it's a powder keg over there. A lot of tension right now. You're not going to give Israel a heads up. They had to have known. Hey, we're going to blow some stuff up over here, just so you know, right? Like, just so you know the intention, right? Like, you wouldn't give a, hey, Bibi, just real quick, just so you know.
You may hear some explosions in Syria this morning. That would be us. I think the U.S. is trying to draw a distinction here. Certainly,
I get it.
Between we support Israel and we're doing things in that ongoing conflict in Gaza and all that. However, this is totally different. We have people in the region that maybe a part of that, maybe a part of something else. You attack our people, we're coming back at you.
Right.
And regardless of anything else going on. And we don't want that. We don't want it to happen. But just so you know, we're out there and we're doing that. Meanwhile, in Israel, one other point, no ground offensive yet. We see some tanks rolling into Gaza.
They did have some tanks and some heavily armored bulldozers roll through in the past 24 to 48 hours.
Continued calls for humanitarian aid to flow to civilians there as Israel delays plans for a large-scale ground incursion. Hundreds of thousands of IDF forces there amassed at the border. European leaders weighing in on that now. ABC's Tom Rivers.
The leaders in Brussels signaled again vague support for the two-state solution once this bloody chapter concludes, but nothing concrete. Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo.
At some point, a political dialogue needs to start, and this peace conference is a reflection of that.
As for the immediate, the assembled leaders reaffirmed their call for aid to reach those in need in Gaza via a humanitarian pause. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
That frames the conversation for the weekend ahead. He says, talks about the two-state solution, like with who? Involving which nations? Involving which leaders?
Right.
What, Hamas? No.
Unlikely.
Right. Hezbollah? No. So are there other, Palestinian leaders that need to be at the table? And is now the time to do that? And then again, what about the humanitarian aid that has trickled in to some degree into Gaza? Much more amassed there at the border with Egypt, ready to go. How do you do that, but also continue fighting your fight in Gaza? Back to the airstrikes, one final point. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin releasing a statement saying we do not seek hostilities. So his point, not looking for a fight. Iran, Syria, any of you over here, you come for us, we're going to hit you back. 8:21 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Checking in with Debbie here on the roads. Boy, what did it take them, Deb? 6 hours or more to clear the Marquette yesterday from that oil or the diesel spill? He asked. Debbie?
Yes. Southbound on 43, backing up a bit from just South Capitol all the way down past, about past Locust. The northbound side slow from North Avenue up to about Keefe. Nothing major, just a couple of few extra minutes there. We got a broken down vehicle on 175 southbound, technically Brewers Boulevard, because it's just south of I-94. Not in traffic, but a bit of a distraction, if nothing else. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Had a rough week? Not to worry. Relax and join Jeff Wagner every Friday at 2:35 for Pop Culture Corner. Brought to you by Palermo's Pizza. Come tell us the best of the best in pop culture, and you could win a prize package from Palermo's.
What is, in your opinion, the most memorable TV character of all time? Your one album, your favorite album of all time.
It's Wagner's Pop Culture Corner. Fridays at 2:35 on WTMJ. And now, time for the Matzik Morning Minute. Take it away, Greg Matzik.
The Damian Lillard era begins in Milwaukee with a thrilling 118-117 opening night win over the Philadelphia 76ers. Lillard scored the final 14 points of the game for the Bucks on his way to a game-high 39.
Lillard, three-pointer for the lead! It's Dame time! 105-104, Damian Lillard with his first points of the fourth quarter put the Bucks back ahead by one.
Dave Kane with a call on WTMJ. Giannis chips in 23 points and 13 boards. The Bucks homestand continues on Sunday night against the Atlanta Hawks. Packers running back Aaron Jones limited at practice. Safety Darnell Savage and cornerback Eric Stokes head to injured reserve. Packers will be shorthanded when they take on the Vikings on Sunday afternoon at Lambeau Field. Packers looking to snap a 3-game winning streak. Vikings coming off a Monday night win over the 49ers. The Buffalo Bills top the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24-18 in Thursday Night Football. And the World Series begins tonight in Texas with the Rangers hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks in Game 1 of their best-of-7 series.
Matzik Morning Minutes is sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. It's worth the trip.
Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the SUV season sales event is on. Say yes to enticing offers like finance rates as low as 2.9% APR on many Mazda favorites, all equipped with standard iActive all-wheel drive. Shop confidently and enjoy Team Holiday's simplified buying approach and genuine guest care. It's the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over like me. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 18 to 24.6-ounce selected varieties Vandecamp's fish, $4.99. 12.8 to 18.8-ounce selected varieties Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches, $5.99. 5.3-ounce cup selected varieties Dan and Greek Oikos yogurt, 4 for $5.
Let's see, spices, cardamom, hibiscus powder. It's like looking at Green Bay's roster right now. I don't recognize it, but I'll learn to love it.
Attention Century shoppers. You're going to love this opportunity. Win 2 tickets to see Green Bay play Kansas City on December 3rd. Autographed Packers footballs or 4 packs of Hall of Fame tickets.
I'd love to see Green Bay's new QB in action and win those tickets. What do I do?
Find the weekly code on Century's Facebook or Instagram and enter to win.
Love it. Getting the Century code on Insta right now.
Ends November 14th.
Well-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Have you been thinking about putting away your patio furniture? With By the Yard's maintenance-free outdoor furniture, you wouldn't have to. By the Yard builds furniture for year-round enjoyment. Their outdoor furniture boasts an impressive 35-year warranty, ensuring your investment lasts for decades to come. Head over to By the Yard's showroom at Mayfair Mall in Wauwatosa to check out their maintenance-free outdoor furniture firsthand. Or browse their online showroom at buytheyard.net. That's buytheyard.net. With By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
Traffic is sponsored by Weisgerber's Golden Mast Inn, your place on the lake. Visit goldenmastin.com.
Make plans this Sunday to visit the Golden Mast for their all-you-can-eat champagne brunch. Enjoy fine dining from 10:30 until 2 at the Golden Mast. Call the Golden Mast and make reservations now.
8:26 on Wisconsin's Morning News. I suppose this is a breaking detail. We're getting late information that there may be a news conference scheduled for this morning regarding the suspect still on the run in Maine.
They're going to hold a news conference to provide an update at 9 a.m. Central Time.
That may just
nothing
be,
to indicate that there's a break in the case, if you will.
When you have, let me just shed some light on this too, like as a reporter, when you have one of these ongoing stories, sometimes what law enforcement agencies or officials will do is, look, they know they can't have 10,000 Vinnies and Erics calling them up all
day long, every
calling
day.
The police department.
Yep.
So, look, just so you know, we'll regularly meet at this time, and we'll give you what we got. Stop calling our people; they're busy.
And it's a great opportunity too to talk to the people that live in that area too, to give them to level set with them. There's been some issues, so the shelter in place is still there for a couple of counties there in Maine as they search for Robert Card, this guy they believe shot and killed 18 people earlier this week and injured more than a dozen others.
Schools and businesses remain shut down, leaving multiple towns on edge.
Everybody's scared. I mean, nobody is used to having a shooter in Maine.
The search now widening. The Coast Guard joining the manhunt after the suspect's white Subaru was found at a boat landing in Lisbon, Maine, with a firearm inside. Card does have a boat registered to him.
Yeah, so now they're searching for this boat. They're curious if maybe he headed north toward Canada or headed south. Not for sure that he's on the boat, but they got the Coast Guard now activated, working this too. Now,
boat doesn't leave a trail. Like, how can you track where it went or where it ended up unless somebody spots it?
Mm-hmm. So he did leave what appears to be a suicide note at his house. It was addressed to his son. It contained bank information and what police are calling, quote, rantings, if you will. Of course, you may recall, Card was treated at a mental health facility earlier this summer, also reportedly hearing voices and allegedly threatened to attack a National Guard facility. They think maybe a couple of different outlets now are saying that at least one aspect that they're investigating here as far as a motive goes is a potential breakup recently with a girlfriend.
Intelligence sources are telling CBS News that they believe that recent breakup may have been a significant destabilizing event in the gunman's life. That said, there is still no clear motive right now for this shooting.
So no motive and actually no real idea for sure where he's at. And by the way, this guy's a firearms expert.
And a current U.S. Army reservist.
Yes. So that's very concerning to them, especially in some of these areas. They got hundreds of law enforcement folks out, agents looking all through some of these areas, but some of it heavily wooded, not sure where you're going.
This is his stomping grounds. He knows every inch of this like I do. You can barely walk through that area. The woods are so thick.
That's Richard Goddard. He lives in one of the areas that they're searching for. So you're talking about thick wooded area, an area that this guy knows. And by the way, he can shoot really well. Will that come into play? So far, nothing to indicate that, but they have no idea where this guy is.
And on the issue of the ex and whether or not the breakup may have motivated this, there's no suggestion that I've seen right now that the ex was targeted.
Haven't not
more
seen
that was
yet,
a triggering event of this guy's already spiraling, and that might have been one of the contributing factors to him continuing to lose his mind here.
Right, right.
But the fact that it's premeditated, I don't know, like we talked about it earlier, just everybody's trying to process this and their grief for the people of that community, for the people who were killed, for the victims who are still in the hospital. I don't know if it makes it easier to swallow or to understand, at least if it's a person who had military service and PTSD and just snapped. versus someone who planned to do this.
Right. Knew to go to his boat and drop off the car. And
Right. Decided these are the places I'm going to hit because there are going to be lots of people in there for me to kill.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get an update at least moving forward where we can figure out where he's at, or hopefully they know. Nothing to indicate that, but again, 9 a.m. is our latest news conference from Maine.
8:30 right now on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hun, we need to stop putting off getting life insurance.
I know. It's just been so busy, and I'm sure the cost is out of our budget.
Well, Jen told me that they got a $500,000 term life insurance policy from Ethos for less than $23 a month. All online with no complicated forms and no medical exam. All they had to do was answer a few health questions.
Wait, no medical exam and all online?
I know, right? It's not easy to think about, but if something happened to you, James and I would be...
Okay, I get it. Let's get a quote from Ethos right now. Wow, you were right. There's no medical exam. And Ethos makes the whole online process fast and easy. And look at these rates and coverage options. It's great protection and totally fits our budget.
Ethos. They've removed all the barriers from getting coverage. Go to checkethos.com to get your free online quote. That's checkethos.com. Quote based on a healthy, non-smoking 30-year-old male with a 20-year term policy. Rates may vary.
Hey, Sandy Max of WTMJ here. I've been telling you all summer about my friends at 3 Pillars. They are Wisconsin's top-rated continuing care retirement community, and they're located in a gorgeous nature-filled spot in the village of Dousman, smack dab in the middle of Lake Country. Continuing care means every facet: independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing, and rehab. That means whatever you need, 3 Pillars is the best. And you deserve the best in your retirement. Learn more at 3pillars.org.
It's spooky season, and we have monster deals at Heiser. Is your vehicle becoming a money-eating monster, causing your wallet to be as see-through as a ghost? Sleepless nights causing you to look like a zombie? Oh! Don't scream. Heiser will gladly take control of that scary monster. No tricks, just treats. Heiser will save you money and sleep on any of our new Chevrolets, Cadillacs, Toyotas, Fords, and Lincolns. And that includes our used vehicles too. Because at Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Hot sleeper? Shop Steinhoffel's Tempur-Pedic Breeze mattresses that feel up to 10 degrees cooler. Right now, Queen Breezes are only $83 a month when you use Steinhoffel's 72-month financing. Plus, get $300 in Steinhoffel's cash. Only at Steinhoffel's and Steinhoffels.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
It's 8:33. I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Friday, October 27th. Your top story: more questions in the death of Prince McCree.
I'm Debbie Lozica. Still seeing a little bit of a backup north of Capitol Drive on 43 southbound, stretching all the way down past Locust, the northbound side. Basically, Locust to Keith is going to be your heavy spot there. Otherwise, everything else seems to be moving along pretty well. Got one broken down vehicle on eastbound 94 at Highway 164 off on the left shoulder. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
You like roller coasters? We've got one coming up for temperatures in your Storm Team forecast from meteorologist Brendan Johnson. Already near our high of 68 today with some slight chances for rain moving through the area. And clouds will be on the decrease overnight, and so will the temperatures. A low down to 37, a high of just 48 tomorrow. It's currently 67 and cloudy in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, questions remain this morning about why a 5-year-old boy from Milwaukee was found dead in a dumpster on Thursday. Our partners at TMJ4 News learning an Amber Alert was requested when Prince McCree went missing, but the alert request was not granted. In order to qualify for a statewide alert, a missing person must be under 17 years old, in danger of serious bodily harm or death, and there must be enough descriptive information available about the child and suspect. Amber Alert Program Coordinator for the Wisconsin Department of Justice, Melissa Marchant, tells TMJ4 News.
We really need to stick to those 3 criteria in order to make the program, successful and not to desensitize the public.
The state has issued just 59 Amber Alerts over the last 20 years. In Milwaukee, Prince was the 20th child killed in the city so far in 2023. Tomorrow is Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, and more than 140 drop-off locations will be available throughout Wisconsin for safe disposal of unwanted and unused medication. Eligible items include prescription and over-the-counter medications, ointments, patches, non-aerosol sprays, inhalers, creams, vials, and pet medications. And you can add San Diego to the list of cities that will be served nonstop soon at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. Southwest Airlines announcing flights will operate every Saturday beginning June 8th. In the schedule extension for next summer, the airline will also offer increased weekday service from Milwaukee to Atlanta, Denver, Vegas, and Phoenix. In July of this year, Southwest launched daily nonstops between Milwaukee and Kansas City. Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, mixed on the major indices at the opening bell. The Dow Jones down 58 points to 32,727. The S&P 500 is up 12 points to 4,149. And the NASDAQ up 111 this morning to 707. It's time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com, click the Get Started button now. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:36.
Coming up, Gen Z's rejecting romance on the small screen. That story next.
This is the year to buy the woman you love a big anniversary diamond.
What's a big anniversary diamond?
A big anniversary diamond is any diamond that's at least twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Why twice as big?
A big anniversary diamond says, I love you twice as much today as the day I married you.
People are always so happy when they see the price we can give them.
Kessler's has wonderful prices on 1 carat, carat and a half, 2 carat, and 3 carat big anniversary diamonds.
People will ask you about your big diamond everywhere you go.
So big anniversary diamonds are the hot new trend?
It began with men buying big anniversary diamonds for the women they love. But now it's gone to a whole new level.
Women are now buying big anniversary diamonds for their men.
Women are saying, two can play that game.
I like games that two can play.
Everybody likes games that two can play.
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Shania Twain.
Let's go, girls.
Live in concert in Milwaukee. The Queen of Me Tour. Fiserv Forum, October 31st. Shania Twain. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. The album Queen of Me is available everywhere now. For more, visit ShaniaTwain.com.
For those who just can't wait for Black Friday, head over to Fleet Farm today for great Black Friday Now deals. Like a free battery pack with Milwaukee heated jackets, in-store only. Or 40% off all men's Field and Forest flannel. And don't miss our trick-or-treating event on Saturday, October 28th from 10 till noon, with treats for the first 200 kids and gift cards for best costumes. Enjoy Black Friday savings now at Fleet Farm, home of everything you need for everyday life.
WTMJ News Time, 8:39.
So this only matters to, like you think, well, I'm not a Gen Z. What do I care what they watch? Because this is what they're going to start putting out then.
Correct.
For the rest of us.
So a recent study on the entertainment consumption habits of Gen Z. So that's 13 to 24 in that little range there. 12 to 28.
What's behind them? Did we name that one yet?
Behind the Gen Zers?
Yeah. Double A?
Digital chips.
Gen double A, right.
Anyway, Gen Zers.
The bots.
So the study says that Gen Z, the preference for Generation Z for watching on TV or on screens is platonic relationships over sex and romance. UCLA has a teens and screens survey. It found that 50% want to see more content on friendships. Additionally, 40% desire non-romantic characters on the screen. UCLA even has a video.
I would prefer to see, instead of romance, more platonic relationships and more familiar relations.
I'd love to see some great love stories on friendships and the trials and tribulations of that.
Isn't that interesting? So they feel that romance in media is overused. Now, I'm not going to disagree with that. That's absolutely true. Then there's a formula that like every every sitcom pilot used to follow. Maybe or maybe they won't. Will they or won't they? The whole Friends, Ross and Rachel thing.
Isn't that also, though, part of friendship? Like, don't a lot of those platonic friendships,
I don't know if I agree with that,
run into that, at least that scenario of, are we friends or aren't we? Or
yeah, maybe at 14 years old.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's what they are.
Well, so that's what makes us interesting. And to your point, the fact that Gen Z isn't interested in seeing relationships on the silver screen. Well, why does that matter? Or the TV screen? Is because that's what we're going to end up seeing when we continue to watch television or watch any shows. They're going to try to get to this generation that's going to be spending the money, the 25 to 54. They're growing into that demo now, and they don't want to see silly relationships.
They're going to get, you know what they're going to get? They're going to get their own streaming service. Netflix will be like Netflix Gold.
Netflix
Golden, right? And then for the oldsters, and then they'll have their own spin-off.
For you weirdos who want to see relationships.
Right. That's fine. They can have it. So how to extrapolate it out? Then what they want to see Friends, because Gen Z loves Friends.
They want more authentic storylines that reflect lived experiences to a more diverse spectrum of relationships.
So do they never want Ross and Rachel to get together? Or Chandler and Monica?
That's not what triggers them to want to watch the show.
They just want them to hang out.
They want to learn about relationships.
Interesting. Fascinating generation. 841 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Soon to be Hall of Famer Susan Kim from TMJ4 News joining us live next.
What's that, Arvid?
A slide presentation on Mission Furniture for Penny Mustard customers. Want to see it?
Sure.
Not really.
Great. Mission Furniture was invented in the 19th century. Its origins are traced to a chair made by this man, A.J. Forbes, in 1894.
Is this going to be on the test?
Hush, Ben.
The term mission refers to the Spanish missions throughout colonial California.
Arvid.
Now in this chart...
Arvid.
What?
If you want customers to see Mission Furniture, show them the Spencer bedroom.
Good idea. It's textbook Mission. Masculine and design, but warm and homey too.
Full extension glides, drawers you can stand on, forever tight bed brackets, and your choice of solid wood, stain, and hardware.
I think I'll add it to my presentation.
Is it almost finished?
Yep, only 174 slides to go. The Spencer bedroom with queen bed, triple dresser, mirror, and 3-drawer nightstand, starting at $58.03 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Don't overlook the service. I've talked to you about the high-quality Pella Windows and Doors products. Super in love with the patio door that I got installed in my house, the big old windows that go on either side. You're getting the triple pane glass, insulating gas inside there, all the stuff, the options, the rollback screens, the hideaway built-in blinds, whatever noise it needs to make. So we know you're talking about high-quality products. Invest in the service as well. Don't overlook that, because when you buy Pella products, you can do that in other places, but when you go specifically with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, then you get the service to match the product. Their teams are trained on an annual basis on install. That's why you get the experts doing everything from making the measurements, making sure everything fits right, to getting them in their house, making sure that they treat you right when they're there, leaving no trace behind other than, of course, the beautiful windows and doors that you have ordered. That's why their training is so important. It's why you want to go with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Get on the schedule now. They've got some spaces available still in fall. Maybe get your project in before the snow flies. It's Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Get started now at PellaWI.com.
If you like using debit over credit, don't you think it's time you also get rewarded with Discover Cash Back Debit? Check out eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Checking in with Debbie here at 8:45.
All right, just a little patch of heavy traffic left over right now on 43 southbound from Hampton down to about Locust, northbound side, just a little bit slow right past Keefe on the northbound side. So overall, not too horribly bad. The rest of the system's actually looking pretty clear. And don't forget, you can help out your fellow commuters. You can report accidents and slowdowns to the Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda to support their Drive Out Cancer event. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Dedicate yourself and you go find yourself standing in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. 8:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News. She's covered Super Bowls, Final Fours, tragedies and triumphs for decades here in Milwaukee. She has interviewed celebrities, she's interviewed governors, people of all kinds.
Of course, well, because you're so nice on top of the fact that you have cans on your head. Well, can head.
You're a sweet guy with a
Yeah.
with a very unique talent.
Yeah. Well, Canhead, thank you so much for your time.
Remember that guy? Susan had him on the news. Guy with cans all over his head. Also put up with me sitting next to her on the anchor desk for 17 years. TMJ4 Susan Kim going into the Hall of Fame tonight. Milwaukee Press Club honoring our friend. She is with us live on the Tri-County Contracting Hotline this morning. A reluctant participant in today's show, Susan, because I know you don't like to talk about yourself and all the things. So we'll do a little bit on Susan, and then we can talk about other things.
Okay, thank you. And I mean, wow, what a walk-up song. And you brought up Canhead at the same time.
Yes.
That's quite the welcome. wait, I thought we were together for 16 years.
I don't know.
Is
Did I
it
do the
17?
math wrong?
I don't know. You said 17. I thought it was 16.
We'll just go with 17.
Don't we
It's
sound
fine.
like an old married couple?
Oh, my God. Stop bickering.
Which anniversary is this?
Susan, let's start with this. Tell us how great you are.
Okay, no. Let's start with this. How many years in Milwaukee?
29 years. April 2024 will be 30 years in Milwaukee.
And you came to us from your last stop was Juneau, Alaska,
That's
right?
right.
No, Anchorage, well, first out of college was Juneau, Alaska, and then I went to Anchorage, Alaska, which actually was a huge market jump. In our business, we talk about market size or the size of the city, and Anchorage was actually ranked. It was 250th market, and then Juneau was unranked because it was so small, but it was beautiful.
And then so you come here then, and totally new place. Did you know anything about Milwaukee even when you came?
No, because this was before the internet.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, I remember going to the library and trying to look up stuff about Milwaukee. And I remember one of the interview questions was, do you know what WTMJ stands for, or TMJ? And I think I said, or he told me it was Jim Prather, and he said, it's the Milwaukee Journal, right?
Oh, you knew?
And I think, well, I can't, well, it was a long time ago.
So did he ask you or didn't he?
He did
Okay.
ask me, but I don't think I knew. But I'm asking you guys now as I try to recollect. It is, TMJ stands for the Milwaukee Journal, correct?
Yes, correct, right. Well, good. Now that we have
Right,
that
that's
straight after
good.
29 years, good. That's probably one of the reasons you're going in. No, but you're right. Totally different time here. Different people running TMJ4 then. I mean, I interviewed with Prather. That was one of the toughest interviews I ever had for a real job. He was a tough boss.
Yeah. He was, and he wanted to be first. He wanted to be right, and you didn't want to come back to the station and say that you struck out. So you just you wanted to work really hard for him and Jeff Kiernan.
Yeah, Jeff was our news director then, eventually.
So, Susan, what's the best part of the job?
I think the best part of the job for me is talking to people. Obviously, you guys know without your audience, you're nothing. So to have people come up and talk to me at the grocery store or at baseball fields or, the Friday night football game, it's always a pure joy. And they always say, I don't want to bother you or anything. And I'm like, it is absolutely not a bother. Without you, I would not have the joy and the privilege of being in this market for 29 years. So I love it when people come and talk to me and say hello and they share some amazing stories with me about how they watch or when they watch. I had one woman say it was at a Susan G. Komen run quite a years back, but she still stays with me. She said, I watched you every day while I was going through chemo, and your laugh and these things. She said very nice things, and I just thought, oh my gosh, this woman who is going through the fight of her life is taking the time to say hello to me and to tell me how much she enjoyed watching. And those are the kinds of stories that just stay with you forever, and you appreciate so much.
I mean this sincerely, and you can do it a lot of different ways in this business. You can kind of show up, especially after you've established yourself, and go through the motions, and still you could just be busy being Susan Kim. But Susan's one of the hardest workers in digging up stories. When we were there getting the news together in the morning, and it's right before we're going on air, she'll pick up the phone and call the police. I'll call. So you're a super hard worker. What is it for you? Like, is it covering the special events like when you and I did the Ryder Cup and things like that, or the Super Bowls, or is it when you're digging up and breaking news stories that does it for you?
I would have to say both for different reasons. The big event because you're right in the middle of something really special, and then breaking stories. It's getting that information that no one else might have, because we got into this business. A lot of us have this competitive nature about us because we want to be able to find information and tell stories that no one else has, so that people will connect with them. So in both of those are really special to me. I can't say that I love one or the other, but I will say that the Ryder Cup with you for a week was one of the most fun times and special times. It had both. We got to talk to really great people. We got to talk about golf all day long, and then to be in the middle because, as all three of us, we've all, you guys are from here. I've lived here for a long time. When you live in a market for as long as we have, things that happen here really matter to us too, and it's important that we share these stories, and we also soak in a lot of the joy that comes with seeing all these people here, being part of that big event. The Bucks game, the whole city is loving the fact that we have Giannis and Damian Lillard, and how exciting that game was last night. That stuff matters even more when this is home too.
So you're getting inducted into the Milwaukee Press Club Hall of Fame tonight. What happens? Do you get like cake? Is there a celebration? What takes place tonight?
Well, there's this at 1 hour. There's like cocktail hour. I don't know. I mean, I've emceed events and I've been to events. So I think there's a cocktail hour. We get to meet some of the journalism students who are coming up through different universities here in our area, which is really special. And then we have dinner, and then we have a 5-minute speech that we're supposed to.
Speech.
Yes,
very nice.
that we're supposed to.
Is it going to be good? I'm there tonight, so is it a good speech?
I don't know. I
Yes,
mean,
it
it's
is.
as good as I can do. There's so many different ways. When you give a speech, there are so many different ways you can go. And then I'm stressed because Joette Richards, who does so much for the Milwaukee Press Club, she sends out this email emphasizing in bold 5 minutes.
Okay, yes.
Maximum 5 minutes. And I keep timing it, and it's 8 minutes. And I called Joette, and I said, it's 8 minutes. So she said 8 minutes is okay. We just don't want 30 minutes. So it's going to be 8 minutes.
Okay.
And I don't know. The thing is, when you guys go to a speech, you remember you might remember 1 or 2 points that the person makes, but you really remember how you felt, I think.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true.
Yeah, you remember how that speaker made you feel. Did they make you laugh? Did you feel good about them? Did you cry? Whatever those emotions are. So I just wanted to speak. I'm going to speak from my heart. I may say some things that people, like, oh my God, TMI. I don't know.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, I hope so.
But I just wanted to, I wanted to just put it out there and and share with people how important and how just special it is to be honored in this way, because, it really is. My friend Rob Lowry said it's because I'm old that I got this.
Well, that sounds like something Rob would say. Yeah, nice, good. And he's at my table tonight. Thank you for that placement.
Yeah, you're welcome. He's a wonderful.
Super excited to see you and to celebrate with you tonight. And also our colleague Andrew Triplett, longtime photographer here in Milwaukee. Trip's the best. I can't wait to hear what that cat speech is about.
I know. He's just funny, just the way he looks at you, right? I mean, he just makes you laugh. And I mean, he's just a wonderful human being. So, yeah, he's going to be pretty special tonight, too.
Well, congratulations. Excited to see you tonight and celebrate with you.
Oh, well, thanks, you guys. Thanks for having me on.
TMJ4's Susan Kim, Hall of Famer, with us live this morning. 8:54 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
He got to be speaker reluctantly, didn't want it, couldn't take it anymore. It drove him out of politics.
If you missed Wisconsin's afternoon news, you missed this.
Does this include the winterization of the stadium and looking ahead, or at least a proposal looking into the idea of building out the space in a portion of the parking lot?
Donald Driver is with us live this afternoon. Double D, good to catch up. How are you?
Wisconsin's Afternoon News, the podcast, presented by Geis Garage Doors.
AccuRite Tax and Financial Services has Toshiba copiers and network printers from James Imaging Systems. President CEO Jason Rose.
We have 17 different tax preparers on staff, and we have 4 printers running pretty much nonstop. And during tax season, it's absolutely crazy.
And Jason, those printers from James Imaging Systems have to work just as hard and reliably as your people do.
Oh yeah, yes. Something comes up that's an issue, we have somebody that we can call that can help us resolve the issue very quickly and efficiently.
Reliable printing, reliable service. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. That helps tremendously keep us being productive, keeps those tax returns going.
Jason, bottom line for your practice?
Happy clients, happy workers, happy me.
Don't worry, be happy with document imaging technology and extraordinary local support from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Don't you love fall? Hi, this is Matt Elliott from Elliott's Ace Hardware. When I say love fall, I mean the fall colors and cool nights. When I say think fall, I think about cleaning up the yard. We can make your chores easier with leaf blowers, shredders, rakes, gloves, pruning saws, and lawn waste bags. Think brands, big brands, Stihl, Ego, DeWalt, Milwaukee Tool and Craftsman. When you think fall, think Elliott's Ace Hardware in Elm Grove, West Allis, Pewaukee, and Muskego.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Help fellow commuters. See an accident? Call the WTMJ Hall Mazda Traffic Tip Line, 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda to support their Drive Out Cancer event. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
8:57. One more time before 9 o'clock. Deb, what do you have?
All right, we are looking clear right now. The only issue is going to be a little bit of a backup between Hampton Avenue and Keefe on 43 southbound. Northbound side's all clear. 41 north and south all looking good. East and westbound on 94 nice and quiet. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
WTMJ forecast is sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Listen up here, we're going to get cold. High of 68 degrees.